2015 till date, Egbema people have nothing to show for it, adding that they deserve a commissioner slot in the new government.
Permit me to say that it is very regrettable that since the history of the political involvement and representation in the states, the Egbema man has never held any lucrative position in River State. It is on this premise that on behalf of the Visionary Youth and Advocacy Forum in Egbema Kingdom, known as the Egbema Massive Movement, we humbly request Your Excellency to please consider a chance to an Egbema man to serve under your executive cabinet as a state commissioner.
Rufus added that as one of the oldest Asian kingdoms in River State, Egbema deserves a political recognition. And President of the Senate, Senator Ahmed Lawan, has disclosed that the Senate will receive the list of ministerial nominees from President Muhammadu Buhari before the end of this week. Lawan, who stated this while responding to a point of order raised by Senator Albert Basi Akpan of PDP Akwa Ibom Northeast, who expressed worries over the delay in the presentation of the list by the executive to the legislative arm, said the executive is working hard to ensure that it makes available to the Senate the list before the end of this week. Akpan, who came under Order 43, said that it was worrisome that the list was not yet made available to the Senate, and added that there was great need for the executive to hasten the process of forwarding to the Senate the ministerial list in order for their holiday not to be affected. Meanwhile, there was an uproar in the Senate today over the alleged murder of a Nigerian, Elizabeth Ndubisi Chukwu, in South Africa. Chukwu, who was the Deputy Director General of the Chartered Insurance Institute of Nigeria, was in South Africa to attend the conference of the African Insurance Organization, AIO, but was found dead in a hotel room in Johannesburg on June 13. Senate President Ahmed Lawan, expressing his displeasure over the incident, has warned South Africa not to take Nigeria for granted. Reports are still emerging on the case. And on the foreign scene, France is denied breaching a United Nations arms embargo after 4 of its anti-tank missiles were found on a base loyal to a rogue Libyan general. The country's defense ministry said the unusable US-made Javelin missiles were never intended to be passed to any group and were due to be destroyed. They were, however, discovered in a camp south of the capital Tripoli, used by forces loyal to General Khalifa Haftar, who are currently fighting for control of the city. And that's it on the news update for the hour. Thank you for your time and stay tuned.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
Okay, all right. All you need to know about this one is that
95.1 FM? Such a unique style.
Hold on, Kata. No, don't say else. Just bring 5,000 now.
Only. Make the Kata day. Make the code remain.
Yeah, they worry.
You were not aware you're a thief. Now that you know that your money is coming from a thief, do you not see why you're a thief?
All right, still talking about affairs of the federal government. We understand also that the federal government...
Welcome to today's edition of Beats and Pieces in the Premium Talk and Newsway.
And it's going to be 1-1 Malata. 1-0 is never good enough.
That's where we're called the voice of the people. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Act.
Here at Today 95.1, we keep the conversations rolling. Keep it going. We keep it flowing. We keep it.
Guy, don't do that.
Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Voice of the people.
Okay, ready? Are we rolling? All right, we're rolling.
Live from the Garden City of Port Harcourt, Nigeria, this is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Voice of the people. Today, every day, on 95.1 FM.
Wow, baby, I love what I'm saying. Let's go have some fun. Me and you together.
You have protection.
No, I don't have protection.
Have to check the HIV status.
Come on, I don't womanize. I'm a clean guy.
Today, HIV and AIDS is a major global health emergency affecting all regions of the world, causing millions of deaths and sufferings. It is the leading infectious cause of adult death in the world, and about 19 million out of the 35 million people living with HIV globally do not know their HIV status. This has led to delayed treatments, spread of the virus, wrong decisions about their health, and ultimately death. You cannot protect yourself or the health of others if you don't know what to look out for. Be informed about your health and your future. Be responsible about your sex life. Get tested and know your status today. This message is brought to you by Today95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Yesterday, like every other day, I had it all, but now it's all gone.
Corruption is a dishonest action that destroys people's trust. Corruption takes many forms and can be interpreted by many people in many ways. It is hard to enter into any sector in Nigeria without observing one corrupt practice or the other. The faces of corruption ranges from political, universities and college, bank sector, the civil service, even the religious bodies. In Nigeria, factors like greed, poor youth empowerment, poverty, unemployment, etc. are said to be responsible for corruption. However, no reason is good enough to be corrupt, because corruption is capable of crippling our economy, raise poverty level, bring about national crises, as well as poor national development. Stop the embezzlement and misappropriation of public or government funds, bribery, malpractice, man no man, and treat all citizens equally today. A corrupt-free nation is possible. This message is powered by your premium talk radio Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Here at Today, we bring you what you need to hear.
This is what they're going after. They're not going to
Let me learn it has to be applicable to all situations.
No, it cannot be, because when the evidence...
Some people are not sure of 1 meal a day in a society with such huge potential.
If a criminal passes that place, whichever means he used in passing, and you turn around to blame the citizen, for instance, people will ask you, were you not there?
Malaria kills Nigerians. Malaria.
News.
This is the World News. I am Annie Abdul Salam. In the headlines, Federal Executive
Sports
and entertainment. Straight up to football on the show.
This is Today. Every day, 24/7, 365. We are your official all-year radio station.
Some people will carry human head in their boots and they will not charge them because they are collecting bribe.
When they go collect salary, then go say government need to pay them way.
All these taxi drivers safe. They don't even get papers. Even driver's license safe, they no get.
Hey you, back there. Hold on there.
Their cars are in bad shape, very, very bad shape. They have no ethics of driving. That is why they will continue to bribe so that they can have their way.
I could shoot you now. I could shoot you. Headlight, you no get. Side mirror, you no get. Motorway to where carry animal. Now you take put for road to carry human being. You never even wind the motor when rain they fall. You no get conscience at all. Take, you be number 15. You be number 5. More than no forget on a number.
Let's allow them do their job.
Do not obstruct justice by giving or taking bribe. Avail yourself a check. Even you, Oga driver, stop reckless driving and always update your papers. This information
is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM,
voice of the people.
Officer, give me change. Now 1,000 I give you.
Peace is a situation where there is no war or violence in a society. Peace allows wealth to accumulate and the society to advance.
Through peace, generations of wealth, education, technology can build up, thereby making people very prosperous and happy.
Without peace, there will be violence, war, and underdevelopment in our society. The most disadvantageous peace is far better than the most just war. Let us embrace peace for a better society.
This message is brought to you by your premium talk radio, Today 95.1 FM.
It's what I pray for. All around the world.
Thomas Edison, who lived from 1847 to 1931, was quoted as saying in 1890 that non-violence leads to the highest ethics, which is the goal of all evolution. Until we stop harming all other living beings, we are still savages. Encourage peace in the city and report violence. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not harm. Thou shalt not be violent. This message is brought to you by the voice of the people. Today, 95.1 FM Port Harcourt.
Nigeria is more than a geographical expanse of land spreading from the north down to the south. Nigeria is the people that live in it. You are Nigeria. I am Nigeria. We are Nigeria. Nigeria gets better when we do. And there is no limit to the little things we could all do to make Nigeria a country we will be proud to call our own. Little things that matter, done for the love of Nigeria, is all we need to make Nigeria better and greater. This message is powered by Today95.1 FM.
This is today's hustle. One show that embodies objectivity. We raise the bar in examining the good, the bad, the sordid, everything that has to do with society.
In America, you buy a big house and you pay gradually for 30 years of your life. That is politics. In Nigeria, you carry all your salary and go and rent one bad politics.
Everything that has to do with
You
society.
must negotiate. If we don't negotiate, when a man is pushed to the wall, he bounces back with double levels. We have been pushed to the wall.
The Hustle. Every weekday from
1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
on Today 95.1 FM.
Today 95.1 FM, your premium talk radio station. It's 15 minutes past 2 o'clock. Welcome back to the other half of today's hustle. My name is Ifeemi Andrew. Bolu is also with us in the studio still.
Yes, good afternoon, Andrew.
And let me introduce quickly my guest for this half of the show, Anile Thangod from RRCS Africa. Usually I find it difficult, but thank God I didn't this time to get it together. You're welcome, thank God.
Thank you.
All right, so the reason why we have him here, we said earlier on the show from the first half, is because on this part of the show, we are going to be looking at parenting and the family. When we had the Today FM Anti-Cultism Summit, many direction was pointed towards, or most of the direction pointed towards the home, the family, and how they have, not done a proper job. We had a representative of the GOC 6 Command, GOC 6 Division here in Rivers State, represented by Eliasu. Also, we had traditional rulers, and most of them, everybody was talking about the home, the family, the community. That's where there is a problem. And so we're looking at the failure of the home, failure of parents or parenting, and how it relates to crime, and how we can use that as a tool to solve the problem of insecurity. Where have we gotten it wrong as a family? Where have we gotten it wrong as parents, as mothers and fathers? Where have we gotten it wrong? And that's why we have Anile Thangod here, who's a specialist on parenting. All right, so quickly, Anile, let's put this question first to you. Do you believe that, straight off, do you believe that crime and insecurity is mostly a function of a failure or a function of poor parenting?
Yes, of course, it is. It is in the sense that when parents fail to realize the fact that they have a role to play in the society, it becomes a problem. Yeah.
So if they don't realize that they have a key role to play in society, then it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
So what should parents do now? Because many would even argue that we have some parents who've tried the much that they can, but still, we have most of the children still turn out the way they want to. Of course, it is settled that the people who carry out these crimes all belong to a family.
Yes, they do.
So what more should parents be doing in this situation?
Parents should sit down, try as much as they can to get involved in parenting. When I mean get involved with parenting is trying to identify some certain behaviors that are not in accordance with the law of the society. Identify these behaviors from small. According to Sigmund Freud, in his analysis of personality, he made mention of three key parts in human development. He talked about the id, the ego, and the super ego. He said the id it's from birth. The id is the self-pleasure seeking part of human. When a child is born, you notice that child from small tends to go in his own way. When the child starts developing at the age of 3, 4, 5, the ego starts forming. That ego is the rational part of humans, where that part will tell the id what you're doing is actually wrong, what you're doing is actually right. Then the third stage is the superego. The superego has to do with the norms of every society, the laws, and the rest. So when the ego becomes very weak, the ego finds it difficult to regulate the id, which is pleasure seeking. Like for example, a child that wants to engage in premarital sex, the only thing that would be in his or her head is how to do it, how to satisfy that immediate gratification. The ego would say, this is wrong. This is how this society looks at it, looking at the super ego. So when the ego becomes very weak, the id takes dominant of the individual.
In other words, we're saying most of the people in society today who carry out different forms of crime might have their ego very weak.
Yes.
So they are all about pleasuring that desire that they have.
Of course. So now in Freud's analysis, he was of the view that in order to strengthen the ego, parents should become more involved. Parents, teachers should become more involved in parenting, trying to pattern the child's behavior in regards with the law, the norms of the society. When that is not done, the id takes dominance of the child. At that point, you start seeing child exhibiting some certain kinds of behavior.
In Nigeria, our style of parenting, does it help encourage the growth of ego or the ego or superego of a child?
Yes.
Is it effective, our kind of parenting?
Our kind of parenting, it's more of this laissez-faire kind of parenting where parents don't get involved in it. The few that are involved in it becomes authoritative in their parenting. They exert much pressure, much punishments in their children, and it has an after effect.
Okay, so that means we're saying that there is a slight fault with how most of the parents in Nigeria handle their kids, and that is what is also leading to what we have in society. How then do we get this message across to people in rural areas? The woman who doesn't understand English, who still believes that you give birth to the child, and the child because most of these people, if you find out, they have their families in rural communities where they don't have access to adequate information like we would do. And so you find out that most of the people who get involved in cult activities and different forms of crime, armed robbery, kidnapping, look at them, you discover that they don't even have adequate knowledge. And when you look at the family they are coming from, their mothers or fathers or parents are just very average Nigerians who grew up in rural communities in a rural setting. So if that is the case, how can we then solve that problem and get this information to those people?
Okay. I don't know schools in those rural communities. There are schools, there are teachers. Like I said before now, in our previous program, I said teachers are also referred as surrogate parents. There are teachers, they go to school. You understand? How do you, Today FM, reach out to a large number of people through a system like this? You understand? What we actually need is for us to realize the fact that parenting has issue. When we realize it, then getting to the rural areas is not an issue. Just as Today FM has realized what's cultism, crime, the harm it is causing to the society, River State, they came up with something. People came up, people turned up, and you know the level, the impacts that summit had done in the States because they realized it. I define education as the realization of wanting to have knowledge. The realization of wanting to have knowledge, while the finance of trying to get that knowledge becomes secondary. You want. Let's first of all realize that parents actually have a part, biologically and non-biologically. 23 plus 23, 46. A man produces 23 pairs of chromosomes. The woman produces 23 pairs of chromosomes. The male sperm cell travels into the woman's ovum and fertilizes it. Fertilization takes place. Zygote comes up. In all this makeup, it becomes a child. From the endocrine system, how it works, everything, it's been a combination of the father and the mother. You are a product of your dad and your mom, biologically. You understand? Then environmentally, where you were raised, the first environment a child comes in contact with is the family. So whatever he or she takes in, introjects in, imbibes in that environment, patterns his or her own behavior. There are chromosomal abnormalities. Who do you blame that on? When a secretion did not secrete very well, who did you blame? Who do you put the blame on? The child. As a child, you are an individual that came into this world with, you're just there. Everything comes from either your mom or your dad. You are their product. So when we realize the fact that we have a part to play in the formation of a child's behavior, when we would always say government, when we put it on government will tell you that they are on top of the matter. Government would not want to do anything because the behavior these children put up in this society in one way or the other benefits them. So when we realize that this is how it is, this is how it is, you and I will go to rural areas. We will talk about it. We would educate people. We would bring in people that can speak the native language. Teach parents, elderly women, how to raise a child when we realize it. But we are yet to realize the fact that it's parenting.
So are you going to say that as it stands now in Nigeria, River State, Niger Delta, the major problem is failure in parenting? Is that why we are where we are?
Failure in parenting. Of course, that's why we are where we are in terms of crime-related activities.
Failure of parenting as against job of the government to properly, create an environment or create employment, or an environment that would be fruitful for business. Many have argued that if people were engaged, we might not have this level of crime. So if we're saying parenting or poor parenting is the problem, Where is the place of the government?
A child that is going to university, would that child be seeking for employment when you're not done with your education? But there are students in the university that engage on crime, cultism, and the rest. But they are not graduates yet. So job opening is not yet for them. A child that is underage, 16, 17, that is in courts, 15 years, that is.
How would you then explain that one?
Yes. How would you then explain that it's
because no job?
No job. You understand? If you're trying to put that child into a job that
he's not even qualified.
Yes, that's child labor. It becomes a crime too. And you see in the society, you see children of 14 years, 15 years, 16 years, 17 years, underage children engaging in crime-related activities. And you're talking about job. A university student that is not done with his or her degree program yet. You understand? So I don't think personally, I don't think it is government. In as much as I would always say government has a role to play once it comes to our educational system that is very, very bad, that is not up to standard, which it affects learning from the educational parts. I would say that, but trying to tell me it's government, its job, and the rest, I believe that behaviors are patterned in a particular way.
So basically, parents have failed.
Yes, basically, parents have failed, and there is a way for them to also up their game.
Okay, before we come to the way, the failure of parents now isn't it as a function of the failure of their parents?
Yes, you would
because
say,
what they know is basically what they were taught or how they were raised.
Yes, okay.
So isn't it a failure of their parents? Should we then blame parents even for the manner and style in which they handle their own kids?
Development is not static. You want patterns must have changed. The pattern their parents used on them then worked. That's the reason why research is something that should be ongoing. You understand? So parents today have failed to research on that. Like, what's a better way of actually parenting our children right now? The world has developed. You understand? The needs has changed. That is the reason why most time school curriculum should be visited at all times. It should reflect the needs of the society. So when a curriculum is static, it does not change. Nobody reviews it, just as we are doing in Nigeria here today. You see books that was written 80s and the rest. That is what we are still studying today. What do you expect of our behavior? When our parents use the pattern in which their parents use in parenting them to parent us, what do you expect of us?
So parents are supposed to constantly upgrade themselves as well. To be able to pass on adequate knowledge to their children, they should always try to be in tandem with the times.
Of course.
And learn new things often.
Formally or informally. Yes, they should learn. It's not just for the benefit of the society. It's for their own benefit too.
Okay.
Because when a child is raised responsibly, it benefits the parents too.
All right. Would accommodate some of your questions now. Really, would you say that crime is as a result of the failure of parents? That's the question. And how can parenting help the problem of insecurity that we have? The herdsmen, the Boko Haram members, the name whoever, they all have family. They all come from a family. So many are of the opinion that if the family had done a proper job, we would not have these people acting in the manner that they are acting now. And so would like to know from you if you share the same views or perhaps you have something quite different. You can ask your questions 0817 000951 or 0810951091, or you send a text message to 0701-933-9962. And then thank God from RRCS Africa. That stands for
Raising Responsible Children in African Society.
Thank you very much. That's what it means. And so he's a coach on that one. Hello to the 95.1 FM. Hello.
Hello, Andrew.
Yes, you're welcome. Good afternoon.
Yes, this is Lawson from Yenegua.
Go ahead.
Honestly, I love this, your guest. Believe me, I love it when professionals come and say the things they know, really. I love it so much. See, we are always missing the point. The area to blame is the family. See, it's what we call tabula rasa. I don't know if you've come across that word.
Empty mind, yeah.
Rasa. Now, when a child is born into the head there, it's like a plain blanket. There is nothing in it. Tabula rasa is a state of the absence of preconceived ideas or absence of preconceived goals. It is the first environment the child interacts with, just as he has said, is the family. So everything the child starts to learn from day one is from the family. So whatever the family puts in the head of that child is what the child will take out to interact with the larger environment. You understand? So when you say politician, no. You see, the parents have already molded the child the way the child should be. And so when they come out, the politicians or whoever takes advantage of it. If the child is properly well molded, because that head is empty, if you put the right things when the child come out to interact with the local environment, the child will, you understand, not deviate from what has been put in the head of the child. It's as simple as A, B, C. So when people say employment, no job, a well-trained child will look for something to do because there is always something to do. A well-trained child will not take to crime.
Thank you, Lawson.
For me, honestly, kudos to that man in the studio.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. A well-trained child will not take to crime or cultism like we have happening now. It's almost like the in thing. It happens and the child says, why did you go join a cult? Some people were doing this. I want to feel this. I want to have that. Now, a well-trained child, keyword. Is it that we lose some ingredients in training the child? Because I know of some children that are not trained to survive on their own. For instance, my mom growing up, when I tell people like I did Ogwaja, when they look at me, they be like, But I remember very well, my mother wanted to embark on a project to build a house. And so she wanted to get people, she was supposed to pay some people to come, do the filling and the rest of them. And she said she had 3 boys. She says, so what are 3 of you doing? So get a wheelbarrow, get a shovel, and begin to work with. At that time, I didn't understand. It was annoying because it felt like this is our own house now. So why would we be? And then we started doing it. And so we did it, and then she would pay us for it, for the job when we were done, and then would work. So it got to a time I went for service, and things became difficult, really difficult, and I needed to do something. Trust me, that skill came in handy. The next thing I did was I saw a site where they were doing construction work. Okay. And I just went there, took off my shirt, and went to the site manager and said, yeah, how much can I charge for, And I got down, started. I said, I'm going to be helped by anything, I'll do. And I can just get little something I could use to keep myself going for the evening. But is it that we have failed? Because then I realized when I met some other people, if I was asking, I tried to do a survey myself. I said, if you go around and ask some people, how can you make 1,000 naira legally? There are many people who don't know. Many children who cannot tell you what to do to make 5,000 naira legally. I don't think there are many. So would you say that there's a problem with the kind of things that we teach, not just teaching the child now, but the areas of life and things that we teach the children? Is that where the problem lies in parenting that has led to this cultism problem that we're facing? Yeah,
it just like what you said, from small, you were able to do something.
Taught to be responsible.
Yes,
take responsibility.
Yes, and you were given some reinforcement, which is the little money your mom. And later in life, you saw need for that. Let's just, I assume your mom never thought of that. And she was paying other people to do that. And you were in that situation during your NYSC days. The Eid would play its role of the fast way You understand? Why don't you job someone? You understand? Take money. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? What your mom did was to strengthen your ego. You understand? To strengthen your ego, not allowing the id take dominance of you. So that's basically what lots of parents refuse to know. And you cannot do that when you're not involved in parenting. When you're doing 2-3 work, you don't have time for your children. Parenting your child, as parents, your utmost priority in life should be how to raise your child.
How does this affect this? We now have in the world today the independent woman, dream chasing man. Everybody says, I want to live, I want to work, I want to get this, I want to contribute, I want to chase my dreams, which is good. But do we see a situation where that is also contributing to lack of proper care and attention paid to children to form them and forge them? Because the most that we get these days are most career families. It's take the child out to picnics, buy them gifts, photo shoots on their birthday, have them do fancy things, those are most of the basic things that we see, expensive schools. We don't get to see them really take note of this little, very important things. Are we going to say that perhaps some people are too career driven and that's the direction the world is taking in that angle is also contributing to this problem?
You know, prioritizing time is very essential. I don't think parenting should stop you from chasing your career. But when you have a well planned out time, you allocate a particular time to children. So many parents buy toys in order to replace their presents. It does not work that way. When you prioritize, give a particular time to a child. Like I made a research on bedtime story. And I asked how many parents still tell
do that.
Yes, bedtime story. Very effective.
I don't think many parents do that.
They don't.
I wasn't told bedtime stories. At least my mother did not tell me that.
I was for a while, but then it stopped.
Yes,
I was for a while.
Yeah, but in the evenings, it wasn't bedtime. It's moonlight stories we had.
Moonlight,
we all come out and sit down and then they tell us stories.
Do you know, I made a research on that. When you tell children such stories from small, you try to paint a picture of a particular character you want them to emulate. Research has it that those children sleep at night, dream of that story, wake up in the morning and wish to be like that character. The parents so much admire painted. It begins to shape. I'm not too religious, but let me just bring in religion a bit. The Bible said, train up a child
the way he should go.
You want that, so that when he or she grows,
he will not
depart from it. So for Bible to say that,
it means that if you properly do it,
means if you properly grow, whatever environment, that child would not depart from it. It's just like that. It's not because government did not provide job, because this child was influenced by peers and the rest
and the likes.
If that child is properly raised,
even if you're properly raised and you go out there and you're deviating, the moment you hear the voice of your parents. Because of how they've trained you, till tomorrow my mother calls me now and I'm scared.
Sometimes you don't need to hear the voice.
You just imagine all the look.
Just look at you.
But we're in a situation where we hear parents complain that this is my child, though they have started. I talk, they don't listen to me again. So
a psychologist, Albert Ellis, he's a cognitive therapist. He was the founder of REBT, Irrational Emotive Behavioral Therapy. He was looking at thoughts, cognition. Thoughts. He's of the view that thoughts shapes your personality.
What comes out of
you want whatever you think of. You want. It's as a result of thoughts you become a bully.
Yes.
As a result of thoughts you engage in suicide and the rest. You want when you start feeling because of this nobody likes me. That's an irrational thought. It comes in gradually gradually it
begins
starts
to grow.
Yes,
It becomes a part of you.
You want understand, and you fall for it. So whose duty to shape that thought? My nephew's mother told me that my nephew came back home and told him, a child of 7 years, that the classmates are telling him that he's not fine, he's ugly, and the rest. You understand?
Yes.
And I asked the mom, what did you do? She said she immediately started telling the child, you are actually not ugly. This is it. This is it. Look at yourself in the mirror and the rest. Parents that are not involved
would not notice.
Wouldn't even know.
Would indoctrinate the child. Indoctrination is a pattern of teaching, brainwashing that is outside the facts. They will let, don't mind them. Is this thing? Don't mind those.
No, I think I suffered this because while I was in school, while I was younger, in secondary school, then at that time I was no longer with my mom. I wasn't still with my mom. So I had my stepmothers and then some of my aunties, step aunties, and the rest. So then my neck was quite long.
Okay.
Because I was slim, so my neck was long and my head became like real big. So when I was in school, like everybody would say, "Get out, big head, long neck, big." It was always on and on and on, and that really got to me a lot of times. So I'll come home and I just be quiet, and I wasn't the talking type. I wouldn't really come home and say, "This is what happened." I would just feel angry within me and stay there. But it took a long while, I think, and I don't know how, but somehow I just managed on my own. I just adapted to it. So when I come to school and people would say, "No, I say, don't worry, it's crown size." It's the best head. Like I just started telling myself those things.
Yes.
And over time I realized that they stopped as well. Like they just realized like it's a waste of time saying that.
That's it. You rationalize the thoughts. You understand? Gradually those things keep coming. You understand? By default, it shapes the person you are. That's how suicide comes. My problem with Nigeria, with our Nigeria, is that we don't look out for the root cause of a problem. Putting a stop to sniper would not do anything. You wanna it's
yes, it won't do anything. We talked about that today.
You want
yes.
The death sentence of rape that the house is talking. It will not do anything. Is it not in this country that
we have death sentence for kidnapping?
What has it done?
Let's take some of the questions from our callers out there. And the phone lines have been buzzing. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You're welcome.
To you.
Thank you. I'm Sally Wester.
Okay.
A child that never got his own consent, now maybe between 17, got an admission into university. He's from a well-trained family, and by the time he goes out to the society, now he goes into, a very wide society, and the pressure comes on him, and he joins court. Does it mean the parents did not give him a good training?
Okay, good question.
I want to know the question.
Thank you. I think I'll support this question by asking the question to answer before you come into it. When do we say a child is well trained?
When would
because he mentioned from a well trained family. Yeah. How do you know that this child is well trained?
When a child is well trained, his behavior is in accordance with the norms of the society. You understand?
Yeah.
He said
pressure.
A child from 17 that was well trained and rest. He or she goes into the university and was misled, and he or she deviated. Would you call that well trained?
That's why I asked the question, because I said, from what he said, I said, would you tell me that at home his parents told him about flamboyant lifestyle, the way this kind of things you expect in school? Do they really have that conversation with his father? Can he comfortably talk to his father about
communication,
like flamboyant living or parties and all of those exuberant lifestyles that you see on campus? If he can't, then there's still something missing.
According to Dr. Bruno, he said communication is the life wire of every family. You understand?
Yes.
When a child can communicate with the parents very well, if a child goes into the university and the environment, a university is a society
small world of its own.
And for you to be in the university, you should be an adult. You understand? You should be able to take responsibility for some certain behaviors.
Yes.
So when a child is in the university and he or she is pressured, you understand?
He should be able to talk to his parents about it.
Talk to your parents. If there is a bridge in communication, then there is a fault in parenting. You cannot tell me a child that cannot communicate to you, the child was properly raised. Even when that child is 40 years and the parent is still alive. You was learning, it's continuous. You learn till the day you die. From the day you were born till the day you die, you keep learning. So you would always go back. Without your past, how can you amend your future?
So in other words, I think that answered this question. From there, let's get on to another call first before we continue with the conversation. Hello.
Hello.
You're welcome.
Is it today, right?
Yes, it is. Good afternoon.
I wonder about this thing.
Your name,
I'm
please.
Andrew, right?
Okay.
For the family issue. The major thing there are 4 major factors, but the family is the which present by 70%. The other 2 carry 5%. Family is the first place that a child introduced to. As he came to the world, that is where he finds himself. After that, he finds himself with a peer group. From the peer group, now he finds himself with a family and environment. But why family matter carry the largest care to the notice early? Whatever parents did, that child always influence the lifetime. Let me give you Ami as a case study. To watch any barrack boy, wherever he finds himself, was always be on discipline. Why? Because where he finds himself, the family brought up, everything was in order. You cannot misbehave. And the environment within the where he finds himself is restricted. You can't do anything without approval. Then from there now, the people that he finds himself follow. It's the people that are from the same disciplined family, the peer group. And the school now, where the school have their own role as 20% to play. Because the child now, whatever that the parents fail to do, in the school that will correct it. Because in school we say, we don't teach only, but we mold the character. Because there is some element.
Hello.
Parents fail to do. So that the teacher now will help them to that back now to cover up. But today, everything turned outside down. You see a parent telling in children who goes in what he said. And the child grew tomorrow. You find that thing was very good. And the parent now, the teacher trained him, putting the doctor in order. He will go and call police. Before it was not like that. But now everything has changed. That is the major society we have.
All right.
And family, without family, there is no community. And without community, there is no nation. So these 3 things need to be taken seriously.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello. Okay, go ahead. Bulu, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I have a question because parenting, isn't it relative? Because parental training, isn't it relative? Because, for instance, me now, I grew up in 2 places. I was staying with my parents, then got to a point I went to school. I was staying with my aunt. And then, for instance, in my house, in where I grew up, my parents, you don't put on slippers in the house. They told you to not put on slippers because you could sleep and everything. But at my aunt's place, when I got there, I wasn't wearing slippers. And she would always say, "But why are you not wearing slippers? Put on slippers. Are you a dog?" Then I think
I faced this problem too.
Yes, I started wearing slippers. Then it got to a point I would go home for vacation and then I'll be putting on slippers. And my dad would come and say, "Why are you wearing slippers? Put on your slippers." And I'll put off the slippers. I'll start walking with my barefoot. I'll get used to it. Get back to school. Go to my aunt's place. I'll be walking with my barefoot. She'll say, "Why are you walking with your barefoot? Put on slippers." So in some instances, is it not relative?
I think to also add to what he said, I was born here in Port Harcourt. And that's why I say I think most of the problems that we have is from, if you check out most of the children that are involved in cultism and other crimes, they most times come from separate families or families where one parent is not readily available.
Yes.
Like for me, my parents were together at a point. I was born in Port Harcourt, and then there was a separation. My dad moved, and they got separated, and so now my dad had to take us with him. All right, so two of us went with my dad. One of us was with my mom. Now over years, about 15 to 16 years, then there was now a reconnection.
Yeah.
So we came back to my mom. Now at this point, a lot of things have changed because we now grew up with my dad, who was not always present, but then my stepmom was there, some of my step aunties, and they had their own ideas of what. So when we came here, we had problems. My immediate younger brother had a lot of issues. For instance, when we were with my dad, we could come back from school, all right? Everybody just going to their room. My dad was never around, so my stepmom too never really had that much time. So you just go into your room. The only thing they would say, have you done your homework? Have you finished? Everybody stays in their room. Time to eat, like you stay in your room and you eat. If you don't want to come to the dining, nobody comes to tell you. So when we came to my mom, it was then different. We finished for the day and we get home and everybody's in their mom said, what are you doing here? Everybody come and sit down here. Why would you come and leave family and sit in the room? Come here, let's talk.
Yes.
How was your day? And she wants to conversate and ask questions. And now my immediate younger brother found it difficult because it couldn't adapt easily. So even till date, it brought up a lot of issues because she was always trying to let you understand, like, it's not wrong to communicate and talk. But he wasn't that way. It took me a while before I began to understand, like, okay, you need to do this. So it brings us to the relativity.
Okay, yeah. Laws are relative. Like here in Nigeria, I think it's 14-year jail for homosexuality. Yes, in other parts of the world, homosexuality is accepted. It's not a crime. You want. So it's relative. That's where adaptability comes in. You want to.
Yes.
You've been patterned in this way. You understand. Pull zippers whenever you are inside.
Yes.
You understand, and you go to this other place. Put on your zippers. You understand. Adaptability. It takes time. Behaviors are learned, unlearn, relearn.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
The focus is this particular behavior that you want to unlearn. You want what is the effects in the society?
And that brings, because of time we're going, that brings you to the next question then. Isn't there a place of individual input? For instance, in my case, I easily adapted, and I looked at some of the things that after staying with my mom for a while, when I go back to my dad, I noticed that some of the things that I was taught there or how we were taught there wasn't really cool. I began to realize that you can't live like this is wrong. And so I wouldn't outrightly rebel against it, but I was, gradually just using my own senses to know that, this one is not too cool. Okay. Don't do this one. But then, and don't do that one. And I don't know how, but somehow I did it. I was smart about it, and I didn't get beat up by my stepmom or anybody. That's the point. Unlike my younger brother, he was outright. So when he went to my mom and would learn this, and he came back, he wanted to act differently. And he got so. Even till now, I sit down and begin to think how I managed to be able to, go through all of them and didn't get any fracas with my stepmom or my dad or my mom. There were everybody. My younger ones would be like, when with holidays, they don't want to go home because now this parent wants you, that parent wants you, and then there's the confusion. But somehow I found a way around. So and I concluded on my own that I felt it was my own personal input and how I managed it. That's what brings me to the next question. In as much as all of this, isn't there a place of personal decisions that you have to make as a person based on? I don't know if there's a core law.
That's what I was going
maybe
to.
Is there a core law, or perhaps maybe your conscience, when your conscience says this is wrong, and then you accept that like this is wrong, and then you now on your own stand on certain grounds to say this over this.
Your personal decision. Yes, your personal decision must be shaped in a way that it will not affect the next person. You understand?
Yes.
Pull your zippers. Here, do not pull your zippers. You are in the middle of somewhere. You want to understand? If I don't pull my zippers when I'm here, this is what this law, these people here believe would happen. You want to understand? Your decision cannot be separate from this boat. Like you're raised in Nigeria, you go abroad. There are certain ways they do things
Exactly.
in abroad. You by default adhered to the norms of that
Of how they live
society.
there. Yes.
You cannot say, let me do my own thing. Individuality comes in. If your own personal way contradicts the law, it becomes a problem. You understand?
Yes, I understand. So we have to make sure that whatever we do, even our personal individual, activities, doesn't contradict the law.
Of course.
Wow, that's also, you talked about how when a child is born, he has nothing in his head. So when Andrew was talking about
sorry to cut you. I didn't say it was the collar. He said
you come empty.
Yeah, tabula rasa. There was a philosophy that worked on that. I am not of that school of thought that when a child is born,
it doesn't know.
Yes,
good,
that like
bad.
the mind is totally
blank. It's a blank slate.
No, yes. I don't believe on that. The child comes into this world with some level of
intelligence.
Yes.
Intelligence.
Yes.
Well. I do believe that a child knows the difference between good or bad, because sometimes if a child bites you, he knows that he beat you. Because when you beat the child, he knows what he did. You understand? So I feel like a child can know the difference between good or bad.
And that brings us. Let me spill some good news first. We'll not be having sports come up by 3:00. They will be coming up by 7 p.m. Just because of the Nigerian match that we have. So they're going to continue all through that time. So we might have after the news update, we'll have more time to conversate and perhaps take some commercials as well. But so let's just hold our thoughts here. When we return, we're going to go to the phone lines and be buzzing. I was already feeling bad. I was saying like these people didn't take enough calls. It's going to be a problem. But let's just go for the news update. As soon as we return, we're going to continue with this conversation and we'll take some commercials as well. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Today 95.1 FM, your premium talk radio station. Listen to this announcement. Port Harcourt Mega Health and Economic Seminar introducing Health Talk, Weekly Pay, Car Award, 20 million naira house fund, all with Jiximore Health Drink. Jiximore Health Drink centers on all manner of infections and ailments with an opportunity for financial and economic benefits. Venue, La King Hotel, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt. Time, 10 a.m. Date, Saturday, 13th July 2019. To be a part of this, send yes to 0803 090 9416. Again, 0803 090 9416, or send yes to 0803 090 9416. Again, 0803 090 9416. Note, it is absolutely free.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
Good afternoon, and here is the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Ifeemi Andrew. President of the Senate, Senator Ahmed Lawan, has disclosed that the Senate will receive the list of ministerial nominees from President Muhammadu Buhari before the end of this week. Lawan, who stated this while responding to a point of order raised by Senator Albert Basi Akpan of the PDP Akwa Ibom Northeast, expressed worries over the delay in the presentation of the list by the executive to the legislative arm and said the executive was working hard to ensure that it makes available to the Senate the list before the end of this week. Akpan, who came under Order 43, said that it was worrisome that the list was not yet made available to the Senate and added that there was great need for the executive to hasten the process of forwarding to the Senate the ministerial list in order for their holiday not to be affected. And there was an uproar in the Senate today over the alleged murder of a Nigerian, Elizabeth Ndubisi Chukwu, in South Africa. Chukwu, who was the Deputy Director General of the Chartered Insurance Institute of Nigeria, was in South Africa to attend the conference of the African Insurance Organization. but she was found dead in a hotel room in Johannesburg on June 13. Senate President Ahmed Lawan, expressing his displeasure over the incident, has warned South Africa not to take Nigeria for granted. Meanwhile, latest reports reaching us have it that the Senate has summoned the Nigerian ambassador to South Africa to explain the circumstances surrounding the alleged murder of the Deputy Director General of the Chartered Insurance Institute of Nigeria, Elizabeth Ndubisi Chukwu, in the country recently. The upper chamber asked the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to issue travel alerts to Nigerians traveling to South Africa and also urged the ministry to carry out a comprehensive investigation into the death of the woman. The Senate took the decisions following point of order raised by the Senate Minority Leader Inyinaya Abaribe, who drew the attention of his colleagues to the gruesome murder of Ndubisi Chukwu. Abaribe expressed concern over allegations that Imperial Palace Hotel and Convention Center, where she had lodged there, was reluctant to cooperate with the law enforcement agencies to unravel the circumstances surrounding her suspicious death. Commending the federal government for its prompt action in seeking the South African authorities' explanation on the death of Ndubisi Chukwu, the Senate urged the federal government not to relent in its efforts to unravel the circumstances of the unfortunate demise. It also urged the South African government to carry out investigations into the death of Ndubisi Chukwu and other Nigerians in such suspicious circumstance in South Africa. Now, there was a melodrama at the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal today as two factions announced appearance on behalf of the People's Democratic Movement. The trial commenced with the judges of the tribunal retaining petition from Hope Democratic Party HDP and People's Democratic Movement PDM. Two factions, however, announced appearance on behalf of PDM, the presidential candidate Amin Jihabu and the national chairman Frank Igbodike. The tribunal subsequently adjourned till July 18 to hear the application and decide whether the PDM will continue as a party in the suit or not. Both HDM and PDM are challenging the victory of President Muhammadu Buhari at the February 2019 elections. And 3 commercial buses have been attacked by unknown gunmen terrorized in Emoha local government axis of the East-West Road. Our correspondent gathered that the armed criminals ambushed the vehicles around Ndele Rumuji axis of the road and abducted over 14 passengers on board. A source who was present in the area said 14 out of the 18 passengers in one of the buses were diverted by the hoodlums, while the third bus, with which occupants escaped, was destroyed by the criminals. Our source said some of those who escaped from the attack reported the incident to Rumuji police station, just as they revealed that the number of passengers kidnapped from the second bus was not yet clear.
2 buses yesterday. Before Rumuji, 2 buses. The buses carried 16 passengers and officers. Out of the 16, they kidnapped west and 4 escaped. Then the second bus, we don't know the figures of the kidnapped from that bus. Then the third motor of the escape, the driver and the passenger escaped and then scattered the bus.
A senior police officer at Rumuji police station, who also confirmed the kidnapped, our correspondent, said efforts are underway to ensure the release of the victims. And now on the foreign scene, Kim Darroch has resigned as United Kingdom's ambassador to the U.S. amid a row over leaked emails critical of President Donald Trump's administration. The ambassador, who was branded a very stupid guy by the U.S. president after emails emerged calling his administration clumsy and inept, said he wanted to put an end to speculation, adding the leak had made it impossible to do his job. In a letter to the Foreign Office, Kim said since the leak of official documents from his embassy, there has been a great deal of speculation surrounding his position and the duration of his remaining term as ambassador. And finally, singer Taylor Swift has been named the world's highest paid entertainer. She is, however, closely followed by 2 members of the wider Kardashian clan, reality stars turned cosmetic queen Kylie Jenner and rapper Kanye West. The annual Forbes Celebrity 100 list also saw soccer stars Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Neymar among the top 10, along with British singer-songwriter Ed Sheeran and 1970s soft rock band The Eagles, who embarked on a new tour in 2018. West, the husband of Kim Kardashian, returned to the list after a 4-year absence. Forbes estimated his pre-tax earnings as $150 million, driven mostly by his popular Yeezy sneaker line, putting him in 3rd place. Kim Kardashian ranked number 26 on the list. Swift, hot off her 2018 Reputation tour, an album earned an estimated $185 million to take the number 1 spot. And that's it on the news update for the hour. Thank you for your time. Stay tuned.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
This is today's hustle. One show that embodies objectivity. We raise the bar in examining the good, the bad, the sordid, everything that has to do with society.
In America, you buy a big house and you pay gradually for 30 years of your life. That is politics. In Nigeria, you carry all your salary and go and rent one room. Bad politics.
Everything that has to do with
You
society.
must negotiate. If we don't negotiate, when a man is pushed to the wall, he bounces back with double levels. We have been pushed to the wall.
The Hustle. Every weekday from
1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
on Today 95.1 FM.
Welcome back to today's hustle. Well, you could consider this birthday, if you want to put it that way, but you're not going to get it every time. It's just for today. Was spilling over the time. So yes, before we went on the news update, we were conversating on parenting and the failure in parenting. Is that why we have the level of crime that we have in quote cultism as a problem? Is that the situation? Is that what it is? And we've been going extensively discussing on the problem of cultism and poor parenting leading to that. We'll be taking most of your phone calls now and also your contributions, but we've been having different ideas and brought me to ask a question I was trying to ask you. Yes, we said perhaps they have a behavior or a kind of training here in Nigeria. You go to the US, they have a kind of training. But it's also very clear that there's a universal training across board. You can't kill here, you can't kill there. It's wrong and it's wrong. And so wherever you are coming from, that your conscience is supposed to tell you that this is wrong, that they kill. We don't know if there are societies where they allow killing. I don't think there's any religion that says you can kill anybody and just kill them. So I was trying to get you to answer to us, isn't there a place of the child himself? Because if you can learn, it means you can take decisions. It means that somewhere you know what is right and what is wrong, and you can choose. Like you said, let me try to go religious a bit. It says, God says, I've put before you life and death. And he didn't force us to choose life or force us to choose death. That's because we have ability to choose. And he says, but I would advise you to choose this. So we have the ability. So if we do, why isn't there a place of the child himself to say, I don't want to do cultism, I don't want to do crime, regardless of what is happening, even though my parents did not teach me at home that this is bad?
Okay. You said something. I've put in front of you life and death. You choose. Did it end there?
And there was an advice.
There was an advice.
Yes.
But I would
rather you choose life.
Life. So
because these are the benefits from it.
Of course. So it simply means that even the decision you would want to take
is tilted on certain things.
Yes, there was an influence on it. So you as an individual now, you were not taught, you were not whatever. There would be an influence. That influence would either come from
a good source or a bad source.
Good source or bad source. So what we are trying to look at is the influence shouldn't come from bad source. It should come from good source, and it should always come from good source, which is the home. And the home must not because when we are talking about the home, there are homes that are bad homes.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? The dysfunctional families. You understand?
Yeah.
When we are talking about home, it should come from a good home. You understand? Because if you just say home, a child will tell you the attitude I'm portraying came from home, so it's a good one to me. So when we are talking about home, we should be specific. A good home, a home that does things in accordance with the norms of the society, the larger society.
All right. In other words, parents who have children that when they go to school act differently and when they come home pretend to be something else, that would mean that the parents fail drastically in their job to not have known that their kids are playing different identities.
Okay, now you see the issue of parents and teachers. There is a gap between parents and teachers. These both are supposed to work hand in hand in raising children. There are some schools I would go to. I would tell them I want to have a conversation. I want to talk with parents and teachers. You want that? The school owners will tell me, my brother, it is very difficult to pull out parents. Parents don't come.
They are working.
They are too busy. And you need a synergy. There should be a cooperation between parents and teachers. So whatever.
But isn't there a problem from everywhere? Because even our place of work don't recognize that. If the parents were to go to their place of work to put in and say, I have to attend something at my school, the organization would not even want to grant it as well. So isn't this now a larger problem to see that it's even the society generally that doesn't do its job to see that a child is brought up properly?
With the help of telecommunication technology, what stops you from saying, okay, I would not be there, but
I'll call.
Yes, I would call.
Or video call.
Yes, I would listen. Some parents are not just involved. However, you want to look at it. You want. So if there's a communication between the parents and the teachers, you want. My child goes to school, behaves in a certain manner, comes to the house and behave calm, and the rest. If there's a communication between the parents and the teacher should be able to put the parents on call. Like, this is what Junior does.
Even in the
school.
university?
Even in the university. Of course, now, in Uniport, didn't they do parents and teachers when they wanted to increase, when they wanted to do this deadline for school fees also?
But how many parents would be available with the thousands? Imagine thousands of children here.
If you're filling forms and the rest, you put your parents' name and the rest now.
Yeah, it's true. But does the school, like the tertiary institution, do they use it? Did they practice? Because my parents were never called one day.
That is where there is an issue. You want that is the issue. That is the reason why, if you are talking about parenting, we don't leave teachers aside. We don't put them aside. They are also involved. The school is involved.
Okay.
That is mainly the part. If you're trying to bring in government, that's the only part. Our education, because education is it.
All right, let's go to the phone lines. Let's take some calls now. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello, Bolu and Andrew. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon
to you.
DK, you're welcome.
Yeah. My greetings also to your guest.
Thank you.
Okay, we are discussing parenting in relation to issues we have in the society.
Cultism like mainly.
And other things. It is true that the family has the primary responsibility of good child's upbringing. But because of economic difficulties, there are a lot of social dislocation these days. You see children leaving home training before time to do house helps, to do hawking, thereby getting negative influences, like in the case of hawking mostly, and they become miscreants. There is no society without miscreants anyway.
Yeah.
But when you have people out there employing these miscreants for their selfish ends, that is where the politician comes in. While I am not justifying crime on account of unemployment, just as I cannot justify rape on account of indecent dressing, we have to accept the fact that there is a relationship between these things. let's accept that an idle mind is the devil workshop. You see, sometimes our leaders who are supposed to provide jobs for these youth are the one who turn around to use this idle mind as a devil workshop for their selfish end. You see, some of the big men you see in society.
DK, let me interrupt you here. Sorry. At the anti-cultism summit we had, the Geo Vigilante group said there was a 10-year-old boy who was a cultist, 10 years old. Now, that kind of boy doesn't need a job at that time. He's supposed to be in school. So how can we then say it was an idle mind that caused him to have belonged to such a group?
Yes, let me come in. What we are trying to talk about is the rule. There are always exceptions. There are always exceptions in any issue one is talking about. That one is an exception. You see, I was trying to tell you something. Some of the big people we see in the society today, we consider them being good, could have been the worst criminals if they were not engaged, if they were not well-to-do. Instead, you see them channeling that their impulse, that their bad mind in other things, in cyber crime and looting and all of that. So it is a very difficult thing. Parenting itself is becoming very difficult.
Okay.
For some parents, because of economic constraints.
All right, DK.
Some mothers, in order to meet up survivors, also do not stay at home enough time to do parenting. It is also the society that regulates social interaction. So it is a multi-dimensional issue. You were asking a question of individual role, that is the child's role in all these things. The child's role input comes in from age of reason. That is why age 1 to 18, where the child is supposed to live with parents, is very, very important for upbringing, because it is this formative period of any human being that conditioning, as your guest once used it, takes place. This is the time where the parent coverage of a child is very, very major. After age of 18, then the child has attained age of reason. He can think for himself, which is why the white people at that age separate their children from themselves, hoping that they have gotten to age to think for themselves. So all these things has to be taken into consideration. Parenting is very, very important, but environmental influences is also an important one. Thank you.
All right, DK. Thank you very much.
Yeah. When you were talking about idle mind and the rest, who makes a child's mind idle? From small,
possibly, does an idle mind really mean no work? Because now the idea is an idle mind means you're not working.
Okay. Yes. An idle mind. Okay, let's look at it from the angle of engagement. You understand? Actually, that's where it's coming from. Let's look at it from the angle of engagement. The last time I was here, I spoke about Tiger Woods. You understand? When he started playing golf, I was watching a video. It was an award, a movie award, and I noticed they were celebrating Mother Day. They brought out clips of all the celebrities that comes to say thank you. And lots of celebrities, they will come, they will say, I want to dedicate this award to my mom. I want to dedicate this award to my mom. My mom was there when I was small, and the rest. Their mother were involved.
Many of them, Justin Bieber or Raymond,
yes, like from small. So
noticed them
they saw that this is what their children want to do. And they focused on it. They groom their children
in that line,
making that child not allowing his mind or her mind to be idle as per se, just as he said. If from small parents, you understand, in this part of the world, identify that this is what my child like doing. This child like doing things with his hand and the rest. They develop that child. There are special children. There are children with a very high IQ. Very high. There are children at the age of 5, 6, 7. They will come here in less than how many minutes. They would learn how to operate distance. They are special children. But some parents would not even look at that to engage that child's mind from there. Imagine a child that likes, okay, I was in a shop one certain time, a tailoring shop. I noticed this man, son was matching the machine very well, running thread on it. I was like, okay, you teach this your picking how to do this thing very well. I was like, I beg, no, others they thief money with pen. My own picking go thief with pen. You understand? He would always chase that child away. Don't come close to this machine. Don't come. But that's what the child wants to do. Engage the child from small.
And that way you engage his mind. It doesn't stay idle.
Yes.
Because all he thinks about is how to do that and grow his mind in that at that early age, because it's just what it consumed
when
by.
When he finally gets to university, after lectures, nothing to do. You go home. You see one Yahoo boy drives car. You want. If your mind is idle, you would be forced to. You will be lured. That's the reason why when they talk about environment, I keep saying if a child is raised, when I'm talking about parenting, I'm not just talking about this thing good, do it. This thing no good, no do it. If person tell you take this one, I'm not just. You're talking about being involved in it. Look at all parts of whatever means to ensure that that child is responsibly raised. It could involve engaging that child from small. Start doing little things. You see, football, until you get to 18 years, that's when they will sign contracts. That's when you can sign contract. Doesn't mean you're not playing. You're not playing football from small. You are engaged. So from 8 years, 10 years, a child should be engaged.
And if you look at the American system of education from high school, they even call parents that will notice your child likes this. How about you change him and put him in this? Let him go do that.
Those are the works of counselors in schools. How many schools have counselors
that function? Because many of them would have.
Some counselors, you will see them in school. They are teaching. What is the relationship between a counselor and a teacher? You see, you go to a school. He's a counselor or she's a counselor. She's teaching, leaving the primary thing that he or she is supposed to do. Identify these things in these children. Keep a proper and a doctor record of these children.
Yeah. Okay. A lot to say. We have about less than 5 minutes to be wrapping things up, and we are about concluding here on the show. It's the much that we can go. I would like to say a big thank you to all of you who have contributed in one way or the other on this particular topic of discourse. I hope you've learned a few things, and as parents, would up our games and try to be more involved in the lives of our children if we want to tackle this problem of cultism. These are some of the solutions that actually was brought up during the Today FM Anti-Cultism Summit. We talked about another one of them that was also suggested by Professor Bobosofi Brown when he said unmasking these people because we just only hear when they die. This person was a cultist, that person was a cultist. But if we then know when they are alive that this politician, you're a cultist, and we know and people say it, and that one knows and this one knows, it might go along with then because now you know your problem. You've seen the face of your problem, so you can fight it, right? But when you don't know, it becomes very difficult. And now we're hearing the parenting is also very key if we are to solve this problem of cultism and any other crime that we have in society these days. For instance, I met a friend who was on Instagram, which is a new thing that reign now on Instagram, and they twerk, and they say it's a brand influencers, like so. They twerk. I was like, you can influence the brand in decent ways. Guys who do not have big butts or boobs to expose and on Instagram, they are also brand influencers. Yeah. How do they do it? You know, it kind of took me to what a lady says, digressing a little bit. When I went to a seminar, she said every lady would basically say what a man wants is your body. And so the point is just start using it to get what you want. So what if you are a man and you didn't have what a woman has that a man wants, that you think a man wants? What would you have done? Because for a man, he has to work until one of the work would click. Yeah, that's the point. Yeah. You try this, it doesn't work. You try again. You try another one. You keep going because you don't have anything to offer any other man. But she says ladies already subconsciously put in their mind that a man wants this. And so because you already stuck that in your mind, whether you like it or not, the aura goes out from you. And that's why you feel like every man wants it, because you already think about it often. So you might not be acting it and you might feel like you're not asking for it, but the aura, it's there's certain laws of life that you should understand.
Female are raised in a certain way in our society.
And they say it's more difficult to raise a female child than it is to raise a male child. Is that true?
I don't think so. I definitely don't think so.
So it's difficult to raise any child.
It's difficult to raise any child, and it's easy to raise any child. It all depends on your schedule in parenting.
All right. I wish we could discuss more of this one, but we can't. That would be us digressing. Thank you very much, Anile Thank God from RRCS Africa, which stands for
Raising Responsible Children in African Society.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. It was indeed very insightful.
Yes.
Bolu, thank you as well.
And I want to make a very important statement about Today FM. You guys are doing, Today FM. You guys are doing really, really, really great.
Thank you very much.
I must tell you, in terms of identifying a problem in the society where your business is in and trying to provide a solution for it. You guys got it.
Thank you very much. That's the best we can do. That's our voice of the people, isn't it?
Yes.
Bolu, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
My name is
Andrew.
Ifeemi Andrew. Thank you very much. I told us earlier, and this happens only once in a blue moon. So this birthday might not come tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed the extra time we had for today's house. So remember that sports will be coming up at 7. So I was told to tell you the sports crew will be on by 7. We have a match, Nigeria, South Africa, fighting for qualifiers for the semi-final at the ongoing AFCON in Egypt. So you wouldn't want to miss it. We'll be transmitting that one live as well here on the show, on the station. So thank you very much. Have a lovely, lovely afternoon, and bye-bye for now.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
I'm Chiwendu calling from Imo State.
My name is White calling from Bayelsa.
Hello, yes, this is Udwa calling from Akwa Ibom.
My name is John calling from Bayelsa.
Shamaka calling from Abia.
This is Toya calling from Bayelsa. I'm Divine calling from Port Harcourt.
With over 8 million listeners glued to this dial, why not take advantage
Showcase your product
and services to the world with rates that wouldn't break your back?
Visit us at number 1 Today FM Drive off East West Road, Rumekini, Port Harcourt, or our city office, 21 Orobon Crescent, GRA Phase 2, Port Harcourt.
Give us a call today on
0803 35 57 986 or 0810 128 2937.
We are your number 1 talk radio station. Today, 95.1 FM, voice of the people.
Breaking news. NBA Forex and Capital Investment Limited, your number 1 Forex institute in Nigeria, launches a new office at Waterlines, Port Harcourt. All residents of GRA, Waterlines, D-Line, Stadium Road, and all GRA, you now have the opportunity to enroll and invest with NBA Forex and Capital Investment Limited at number 159 Aba Road, Waterlines Junction, Port Harcourt, River State. And remember, the old office still remains at GU Ake Road, adjacent to Unity Filling Station, Elioso, Port Harcourt. Or you can also call 0808-595-3225, 0816-295-3970, or 0705-461-3070. Or you can send an email to info@mbaforex.org. NBA Forex and Capital Investment Limited, your journey to financial freedom.
I'm Chiwendu calling from Imo State.
My name is White calling from Bayelsa.
Hello, yes, this is Udwa calling from Akwa Ibom.
My name is John calling from Bayelsa.
Shamaka calling from Abia.
This is Toya calling from Bayelsa. I'm Divine calling from Port Harcourt.
With over 8 million listeners glued to this dial, why not take advantage
Showcase your product
and services to the world with rates that wouldn't break your back?
Visit us at number 1 Today FM Drive off East West Road, Rumekini, Port Harcourt, or our city office, 21 Orobon Crescent, GRA Phase 2, Port Harcourt.
Give us a call today on
0803 35 57 986 or 0810 128 2937.
We are your number 1 talk radio station. Today, 95.1 FM, voice of the people.
For all your adverts and
announcements, jingles, church messages. You can trust Today FM production team. We deliver nothing but quality production. Hit us up on these numbers: 0803-534-6531 or 0803-209-5049. 0803-209-5049. Everything we touch, we give it a voice.
Two-step to this, spin around, man.
Excuse me. Why even my friends have asked me that why didn't you prosecute yes Wiki? You've forgotten that Goodluck Jonathan would never have supported the prosecution. There was no EFCC by that time.
Excuse me. I'm tired of thinking that when they sit there, they are talking for themselves.
We had thought it would be better, but they are going from worst to worst.
When I removed him from my office, he was taking a bottle of the X for less than 1 hour.
There is no point engaging in exchange of words at all because there are many operatives there.
How would they engage? I mean, it's just normal.
Excuse me.
Get it when it's hot. We drop it like it's hot. Cause we are second to none. Today, 95.1 FM, voice of the people.
They call me Burner. Boy. Yeah. stress, they try to carry food for my head. And when they move, I swear to God, these people must have the grace. Hey, hey, hey. Then they wonder why many people they follow me. I know they introduce myself, not your fault if you don't know me. So what you doing over there, over on that side, girl? You know, so say this, winning. I don't really mean to hurt your feelings. It's the lifestyle, this is how we live it. Tell them enough finish, enough finish. One shit. Tell everybody the body, don't know.
I some money about I care what you know for me to be chillin'. Still ballin', worldwide with it. Still good to be slim. Honey, I'm a liake. Take a garment and no more healing. Only one shillin', only one shillin'.
And what day me one chillin'. Soon as we step in the building, roll up the weed in the building. Smoke rising up to the ceiling. If I can catch the feeling, but not sativa and indica. Nobody crack open the window. Tell somebody call up Belinda. Tell her come love up the singer. When I'm in the city, the girl them want the banana, cause them want some different feeling. Worldwide with it. They know say man a villain. They know say man a vampire, and this a Dracula season. Come into your village, like Willie.
I some money about I care when you know for me to be chillin'. Still ballin', worldwide with it. Still chillin' to be silly. Honey, I'm a liake. Take a garment and you're more healing. Only one shillin', one shillin' like a billion. I some money about I care when you know for me to be chillin'. Still ballin', worldwide with it. Still chillin' to be silly. Honey, I'm a liake. Take a garment and I'm more healing. Only one shilling, one shilling.
Never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
Good afternoon, and here is the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Ifeimi Andrew. A subpoena application against the INEC commissioner in charge of voter education, Festus Okoye, by the Action Democratic Party has been dismissed by the Governorship Election Petition Tribunal in Port Harcourt. Correspondent Victor Zema reports that the application against Okoye was dismissed by the tribunal for no proof of personal service on the INEC commissioner. Lead judge of the tribunal, Justice K. Aoji Akor, in his ruling held that the petitioner and the lawyer to the Action Democratic Party in Rivers State, Dolakbo Atani, did not prove that the said INEC official was served the notice directly to him as he claimed. ADP had asked the tribunal to give a mandatory order for the INEC official to appear at the tribunal to explain the press releases and statements suspending the March 9 Rivers State gubernatorial elections. And there was a mild drama at the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal today as two factions announced appearance on behalf of the People's Democratic Movement. The trial commenced with the judgments of the tribunal retaining petition from Hope Democratic Party, HDP, and People's Democratic Movement, PDM. Two factions, however, announced appearance on behalf of PDM, the presidential candidate Amin Chihabu, and the national chairman Frank Igbodike. The tribunal subsequently adjourned till July 18 to hear the application and decide whether the PDM will continue as a party in the suit or not. Both HDP and PDM are challenging the victory of President Muhammadu Buhari at the February 2019 elections. And away from that, the people of Egbema in Ogba Egbema and Doni local government area of Rivers State have regretted the non-appointment of their people into positions of authority in the state. Youths of the area, while addressing newsmen at Okuzi Onelga, said no Egbema indigene has been appointed commissioner since the creation of Rivers State. Leader of Egbema Massive Movement, Comrade Kelly Rufus, regretted that despite all the support given to the Governor Wike-led administration since 2015 till date, Egbema people have nothing to show for it, adding that they deserve a commissioner slot in the new government.
Regrettable that since the history of the political involvement and representation in the states, the Ebema man has never held any lucrative position in River State. It is on this premise that on behalf of the visionary youth and advocacy forum in Ebema Kingdom, known as the Ebema Massive Movement, we humbly request Your Excellency to please consider a chance to an Ebema man to serve under your executive cabinet as a state commissioner.
Rufus added that as one of the oldest Asian kingdoms in Rivers State, Egbema deserves some political recognition. And on the foreign, and the people of Eleme local government area of Rivers State now have a new monarch. The acting king of Eleme is Royal Majesty Philip Osaro, who was announced the substantive king of the kingdom at the market square after consultations by the forebearers of Eleme Kingdom. King Osaro is said to be the oldest servant king in Eleme, leading other contenders to the throne to step down for him. Speaking after the announcement, King of Ogale community Godwin Ogbabi, who was also a contender to the throne, commended the process and thanked all stakeholders for the role they played in the peaceful ascension of the new king.
Let me use this opportunity on behalf of the King of Eleme to thank all the people of Eleme Kingdom for their cooperation. Thank first of all the clan heads, all the members of Eleme Council of Chiefs, the elites, the clergy, the women, the youth, for the peaceful ascension of the brand new king of Eleme.
Our correspondent reports that women, youths, and children were present at the announcement of the new king. And now on the foreign scene, German Chancellor Angela Merkel has been seen shaking For a third time in a month, video footage showed Merkel trembling, shaking back and forth alongside Finland's Prime Minister Antti Rinne during a ceremony in Berlin today. After the incident, 64-year-old Merkel said she was very ill and there was no need to worry. Merkel was last seen trembling 2 weeks ago ahead of a trip to Japan for the G20 summit. She told journalists at the summit she was fine. That's it on the news update. Thank you for your time. Stay tuned.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Hi, Mommy.
Hello, my love. Missing me already?
Yes, Mommy. When are you coming?
Aw, next week, darling. And I'll be bringing delicious meals for you and all your friends.
Okay, Mommy. I can't wait to see you. Love you.
Love you too.
She says she's bringing food next week.
Hey! All of you, keep quiet. Oh yeah, fetch my water now. I can't be late for assembly.
Yes, SP.
Tunde, you're exempted.
Good taste creates great memories. Relive the memory of delicious meals cooked with Mr. Chef's seasoning cubes. Available in multiple variants. Mr. Chef's seasoning cubes are available at your nearest market or superstore. Mr. Chef's seasoning cubes, creating delightful memories.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
I'm Chiwendu calling from Imo State.
My name is White calling from Bayelsa.
Hello, yes, this is Udwa calling from Akwa.
My name is John calling from Bayelsa.
Shamaka calling from Abia.
This is Toya calling from Bayelsa. I'm Divine calling from Port Harcourt.
With over 8 million listeners glued to this dial, why not take advantage?
Showcase your product
and services to the world with rates that wouldn't break your back.
Visit us at number 1 Today FM Drive off East West Road, Rumekini, Port Harcourt, or our city office, 21 Orobon Crescent, GRA Phase 2, Port Harcourt.
Give us a call today on
0803 35 57 986 or 0810 128 2937.
We are your number 1 talk radio station. Today, 95.1 FM, voice of the people.
Hey, you want to speed drive? Come on, go to the racetrack. You want to smoke? Not on the steering wheel. You want to drink alcohol? Don't do it on wheels. Go to a bar and don't drive afterwards. Seatbelts are not for fancy. They're there to save your life. Know your traffic rules and obey them because they are for your own good. Drive with care because life is dear.
Corruption is a dishonest action that destroys people's trust. Corruption takes many forms and can be interpreted by many people in many ways. It is hard to enter into any sector in Nigeria without observing one corrupt practice or the other. The faces of corruption ranges from political, universities and college, bank sector, the civil service, even the religious bodies. In Nigeria, factors like greed, poor youth empowerment, poverty, unemployment, etc. are said to be responsible for corruption. However, no reason is good enough to be corrupt because corruption is capable of crippling our economy, raise poverty level, bring about national crises, as well as poor national development. Stop the embezzlement and misappropriation of public or government funds, bribery, malpractice, man no man, and treat all citizens equally today. A corrupt-free nation is possible. This message is powered by your premium talk radio Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Here at Today, we bring you what you need to hear.
This is what they're going after. They're not going to
Let me learn it has to be applicable to all situations.
No, it cannot be because when the evidence.
Some people are not sure of 1 meal a day in a society with such huge potentials. If a criminal passes that place, whichever means he used in passing, and you turn around to blame the citizen, for instance, People will ask you, were you not there? Malaria kills Nigerians. Malaria.
News.
This is the World News. I am Annie Abdul Salam. In the headlines, Federal Executive
Sports and entertainment.
My name is Shubogwu Najib. Straight up to football on the show.
This is Today. Every day, 24/7, 365. We are your official all-year radio station.
All stands, greet.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. You're welcome to Jagbajantis High School. My name is Sound Sultan, your new mathematics teacher. By the way, do you understand Pidgin English?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now what we go use henceforth? Okay, carry your pen, carry your paper. Them for my class. People of this world, them plenty. The sins of this people, many, so many. Many times plenty, multiplier. Many times plenty, multiplier. Multiplier. The answer you get now waiting, they make poor man they cry. The answer you get now waiting, they make rich man they mess and leaders they lie. The answer you get now waiting, they make young boys and girls join party gang. Answer you get now waiting, they make innocent man rot inside the jail. Get it, and then agree to grant and bail. Get it, oh. Everybody, oh yeah, join Jamba-Jantis, make we solve mathematics. We did our continent, so Oyinbo say about mass we go use take solve mathematics. So follow Jamba-Jantis. So ya carry by be for brotherhood.
Love your neighbor as yourself,
oh, for objectivity.
Be objective, gentleman, lady.
D for democracy.
No matter how bad it is, in the military.
Now M for modification
of our behavior, let's stand to the same behalf.
A, accountability.
If you've been a chop money, I beg you take them easy.
S for solidarity.
United we stand, divided, oh my shell.
We enter new millennium. Nigerians like 120 million. One population na 6 billion.
6 billion.
Divide that one by 120 million all together. Oh yeah.
All together.
The answer you get now waiting they make people they jar. Come on for Niger. Answer you get now waiting they make people want travel. By hook or by crook. The answer you get now waiting they make people they sleep for embassy for visa. Answer you get now waiting they make people they sell the property for ticket. Get it, get it. Then the travel see. Get it. Oh, hey. Everybody, oh yeah,
join Jamba-Jantis, make we solve mathematics.
We did our continent, so Oyinbo say na partners we go use take
solve mathematics. So follow Jamba-Jantis.
So ya carry by be for brotherhood.
Love your neighbor as yourself,
oh, for objectivity.
Be objective, gentleman, lady.
B for democracy.
No matter how bad it is, in the military.
M for modification
of our behavior, let's stand to the same behalf.
A, accountability.
If you've been a chop money, I beg you take them easy.
S for solidarity.
United we stand and divided, oh my shell.
You just the HSCity.
Shut it go.
And there's the VG City.
Shut it go.
Micro level for HSCity.
City.
Richmond corner be VG City. You try add AJ and VG City all together, oh yeah.
All together.
The answer you get now waiting they make rich man oppress and then suppress. The answer you get now waiting they make poor man depress. but then I guess the answer you get now waiting, they make bomb and they try to keep up with the Joneses. Answer you get now waiting, they make bomb and begin, they try to prove a limit. Get it, now get money then they finish. Get it, oh, hey, everybody, oh yeah,
join Jama Jantis, solve mathematics.
We did about our continent, so Oyibo say the bonus we go use take some mathematics. So follow Jama Jantis, so ya carry by.
Situation in this nation, disposition, our condition, unexplainable pain in our hearts, not to mention brothers killing brothers, full of patience, salvation. Resolutions are made, but always made with lack of vision. Imperfection is the order as we keep seeking solutions. Only God can solve this mathematical equation.
Thanks for your contribution. Now, any more questions?
It all begins with breaking news.
Now, make no mistake, this is a difficult mission, and it will remain difficult for some time.
Then it keeps trending. Events, issues, personalities, all struggling to gain attention. But in the race for deadlines, the intrigues, power play, undercurrents are often missed or underreported.
Insecurity here is basically a product of poverty.
But not anymore.
As the platform on radio steps in to fill the missing links on events, issues, and personalities in the news.
I'm not afraid of anybody.
The platform on radio serves on the hottest topics and trending issues. Only on Today 95.1 FM.
95.1 FM.
Port Harcourt. Every weekday at 4 p.m. Get on the platform on radio and be served.
It's past 4 o'clock. You're welcome to another edition of the platform on radio on your premium talk station, Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. I am Ifeemi Andrew, and I'll be giving you insight into some of the news reports making the rounds. The platform on radio is a program where we come to dissect trending issues with correspondent reports. Our correspondents are out there and they are sourcing reports from the field. And on this program, we take their reports and we also have them give us more details just so you get a chance to hear what is not entirely in the news. Today on the menu, what we have is quite interesting. First off, 3 commercial buses attacked by unknown gunmen terrorizing Emoha local government area axis of the East-West Road. So yes, we're back to that fear on the East-West Road again. We'll look at details of that. Also on the menu, Rivers State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal Court dismisses Sobeina application that was filed against INEC Commissioner in charge of voter education, Festus Okoye, by the Action Democratic Party. So let us take a look at the situation at the East-West Road. And you are aware that because of the activities of that road, many people travel with their hearts in their hand or their teeth. Some don't even travel at all, especially if you want to go to Bayelsa or Delta State. Bayelsa most especially because there isn't any way to boycott that area if you're going to Bayelsa. So many people have found it quite difficult, and some do it with the hope that God will see them through that road. That's the situation, at least for the past few days. Meanwhile, just yesterday, reports that came in said that 3 commercial buses have been attacked by unknown gunmen around that axis of the East-West Road, Emoa local government area. And many would say, what about OSPAC? Remember that they were asked to leave, right? To leave and stay within Onelga. Well, look at what we have now. Would we say that perhaps if OSPAC still was functioning in full capacity in that area, we might not have this situation happen? But that's another question altogether. Our correspondent also gathered that the armed criminals ambushed the vehicles around Ndele Rumuji axis of the East-West Road and abducted over 14 passengers on board. The next question is, if you listen, Ndele Rumuji axis, which means there is the police division there. There is a police checkpoint around that area. So how come no information got to the police? How come these boys were so emboldened to come out and carry out such an act, even close, knowing that there is a police division just close to where that is happening. A source who was present at the area and 14 said that 14 out of 18 passengers in one of the buses were diverted by the hoodlums, while the third bus, which occupants escaped, was destroyed by the criminals. Give or take, this whole process, moving all these people, it's going to take up to 15, 20 minutes or more. So isn't that enough time for, what is the informational communication situation like? How does the police work? I don't know. If you're at this checkpoint, how do you get information of what's happening at that checkpoint? I can't tell, but we know that it's not far off because there's a police division at Rumuji with a checkpoint. So if 14 people were moved out of 18, according to eyewitnesses, then that would take a while to move these people and move them into the bushes. Our source also said that some of those who escaped from the attack had to report the incident to the Rumuji police station, just as they revealed that the number of passengers kidnapped from the bus was just still very unclear. We're not sure yet exactly the exact number of people, but the question we're asking now is this: they even had to report to the police, so perhaps the police should be on the trail of these people as quickly as possible, and we should be waiting to get some credible information, good news, I would mean to say, about the situation on the ground. Let's listen to what the witness had to say.
Yesterday, before Rumuji, 2 buses, the bus is carried 16 passengers and officers. Out of the 16, they kidnapped west and 4 escaped. Then the second bus, we don't know the figures of the kidnapped on that bus. Then the third motor of the escape, the driver and the passenger escaped, and then scattered the bus.
All right, so that was from the witness there, but then also a senior police officer, officer at Rumuji Police Station, confirmed the kidnap to our correspondent and said that efforts are underway to ensure the release of the victims. Efforts are underway to ensure. So many questions to ask. How would this happen with the police division around there? Does that mean that there is no longer fear for security agencies? That's one. And then OSPAC was asked to leave that area, that local government. They were doing some level of work around there, and they no longer can do that kind of work because they've been asked to stay restricted to their local government area. So how do we quell these incessant attacks by hoodlums and criminals on passenger vehicles, especially at night? There was times where it happens in the evening, sometimes early in the morning, so it becomes very difficult to even know what time you want to travel. All right. Uchendu Ejowo would give us more details on this. But what do we need to do? What is responsible for this incessant kidnap attacks that we have? And what are our security agencies doing about it? How would this whole process carry on for the time that it did with the police division around the area, and we didn't get to hear of perhaps exchange of gunfire or, the attempt being foiled or something of any kind that would tell that, yes, the police around that area actually aren't just there, but are there doing something on that road? These are questions that we need to ask. Uchendu Ejowo, like I said earlier, will give us details. But first, let's listen to our callers and hear what you have to say. You can either send a text message, you can call us, our SMS portal is quite down at the moment. So you can call us on 0817 00951. Hello. All right, what's that call? You can also reach us on 0810951091. I'll take those numbers again, 0810951091 or 0817000951. How do we tackle that problem of kidnapping along the East-West Road? How do we handle it? What should be done? It's beginning to get even more intense. Hello, Today95.1 FM.
Hello, Andrew.
Yes, you're welcome.
This is ID.
You're welcome, IB. Go ahead.
The students have started again in the East-West Road. Governor Wike, where are your security? Let them come and wage the war. We keep us back. You say OSPAC are not good. OSPAC are not. I
don't think the governor said OSPAC isn't good. So, just to correct the choice of words. He said that was what was said after what happened, and that was what led to all of this. Not by the governor, though.
Those security that will not enter extrajudicial killing should come now and stop. They've started kidnapping us again in the East-West Road, though. Please. Those securities that will not engage in extrajudicial killing should wake up and wake up to their responsibility. Because still not see why the police officers who are using our taxpayer payers money to pay them are not waking up to their responsibility. Seeing police officers there, seeing young people are being kidnapped, and the police officers cannot respond. What is this nonsense for? And if you answer Nande Money, Nande Money will tell you we are on top of it. Why should you wait for something to happen before you go on top of it? Why are we like this? Why are we like this? Next time, Nande Money told us that our men are still parading in that area, that there was nothing like armed robber operating on the road. At the end of the day, we still had that people were kidnapped. But the police PRO was busy telling us that nothing was happening, our men are parading. Why is it so? If you move from Abua now to Port Harcourt, you will see not less than 8 to 10 checkpoints before you enter Port Harcourt. Why is it so that these boys could have the ghost of standing on the main road and a block and even kidnap up to 40 passengers and no response? Governor Wike, wake up. Thank you.
Hello, Today 95.1 FM. All right, yeah. Lost that call there. The lines are very open. Let's get your thoughts and hear what you think. Yes. Is it time to say we invent the neighborhood watch? Is it time to say OSPAC should return? Is it what should we do? Is it time to look at the police again? Hello to the 95.1 FM.
Hello, Andrew.
Yes,
my name is Prince Andy Abubu, calling you from Rundele.
Go ahead.
Andrew, the fact remains that the police are not helping matters at all. Andrew, over times when you go to police, they will tell you that they are not aware that their men are standing on the road collecting money. But the truth is that just like I have challenged the police CP or the SAS commander, disguise yourself, go patrol the road and see what your men do to people on daily basis. Leaving their primary responsibility of protecting lives and property on the way, the highway, collecting hundred naira from people. Andrew, if they give you the clear details of how this one chief Edith Omodo was kidnapped, it was just within the police houses there. They just carried him. Police were standing. They carried him. If you also go deeply on how these boys rob on daily basis, the police checkpoint just step a stone throw from each other. But yet these boys flourish in their business on daily basis. What are the police doing for us? When will they learn how to be more proactive instead of just being active? It is only when these boys have succeeded in their numbers numerous times, police will come that they are on top of the situation. Why not look for a solution, a means of how to apprehend this thing before it will occur? The police should help us. If they are doubting us that they should bring army and wipe away police, they should look for a everlasting solution to this problem. The people traveling on that highway are suffering on daily basis. You know what it takes for people to stay in the bush, sleep in the bush while your loved ones are waiting for you to be back home. It's unfortunate that we have found ourselves in this situation. And my own personal pain is that I don't know the reason why the headquarters of this crime and criminality will be cited in Emoha local government. It's painful. Why must it be Emoha local government? What have we done to governor? What have we done to Wike?
No, Governor. Let me interrupt you. No, you can't. Sorry, we have to interrupt you there. You're beginning to speak out of terms. You can't begin to speak to the governor in that manner. He is the governor of Rivers State. The governor did nothing to you when you say, how can we be treated by the governor in that manner? It wasn't the governor who's gone to kidnap, or it wasn't the governor who told anybody to kidnap you. So please, I would advise that we watch our tone and respect the office of the governor, please. Thank you very much. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good evening.
Hello, Andrew.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my name is Agunti Chima, calling from Port Harcourt.
Go ahead.
Yes, Andrew, I think all our cry, where we have been crying regarding the excesses of the police in that road, I mean, why wouldn't the CP heed to the cry of the people of Emoha and change this personnel? I mean, change them to another people altogether. Because what they are doing there, they are not doing what they were sent for. I mean, how can protections of life and property be sacrificed in the altar of extortion? What is to go there is to look on how to feed their pockets each day and go back to their house. They are not doing anything. And we have been saying this over and over again. The police are not heeding to the call of the public in that road. You understand? I mean, how long? And I believe you have gone through that road. You will see almost 20 checking points before you get to Bayelsa. What are they doing? Are they not there to protect the passengers, the commuters? What are they doing? What they are there is to focus and collect money from motorists. I pity drivers who have to pay up to their nose to be able to access that road. But yes, people are being kidnapped every day in Emoha. Nando money. I believe you are hearing me. You are a son of Emoha. And let me tell you, you must do something immediately to be able to change the personnel that is on that road, to be able to reinforce the security architecture in that road. Even the DPO at Rumuji, what is he doing? His own is to pack information that they're on top of what? Something that ordinarily that would have been abated. You are telling us you're on top of it. How long will you be on top of it? Honestly.
All right, thank you very much for your contribution. Let's take a very short commercial break. We'll be right back in a moment.
Akas, where you pack all these plenty loads they go with your family? They go Dubai. What did they happen for Dubai?
You never hear about Odibola Invest and Travel Promo?
Odibola Invest and Travel Promo?
Yes, so that one be say, if you buy 5 plots of land for inside Odibola Quiet Heaven Layout Phase 2, you don't qualify instanta to go Dubai with me.
You mean say 5 plots of land? Me and my family, we don't see Dubai be that?
Yes, so buy 5 plots for 1.5 million naira each. All expense paid. You not go pay 1 naira at all. And even you, if you buy 1 plot, you don't qualify for raffle draw to go Dubai with me and my family. All the experience now, me and your family go enjoy them together. Mudiaga.
Bobby, make I rush quick, make it not pass me and my family.
Oh yeah, make this opportunity not pass you and your family by you. Visit their office waiting for Yenwali, Isrim Layout of Tombia Extension, GRA Phase 2 Port Harcourt, or call Joy for 0701 236 4510. 0701-236-4510. Make you not miss this opportunity with Akas Baba and family. Terms and condition applies. Dubai. Yeah, I call.
Now when they ball, they go Dubai.
Welcome back. Still to today's the platform on the radio. So let's know what your thoughts are and what you think about the situation at the East West Road. We'll be speaking with Uchendu shortly to get more information from him. Hello, Today95.1 FM.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yes, you're welcome. Good evening to you. Your name, please?
My name is Cindy. I'm calling from
Go ahead.
Andrew, this thing just tired me because sometimes I used to ask those guys when they kidnap those people, they used to pass through road or inside bush. I don't know. We have police people. Jonathan, I traveled to Delta State, Kwale. The kind of police people I see on that road, there are plenty. But I don't know why these things continue happening every day. I don't know. That's the thing just tired me. I don't know what to say. I will not blame governor because governor is not the security officer. The people I'm blaming that the police people, they need to put more effort for this thing so that they will stop. That's my own contribution.
All right, thank you very much. Let's also don't forget that we now have a new commissioner of police in Rivers State. And you ask yourself another question. With the height of this situation that we have in Rivers State, we just had the former Edgar. Was it Edgar? I can't. The commissioner of police, Usman Belel from Zamfara State, who came in to Rivers State. It's not been here for, I think he came in just before or after the elections. It's not been here for really long. And just when we thought like perhaps we should be beginning to have setting grounds, he should be understanding the terrain better, and we have some robust security architecture. Well, we have him transferred, and now a new commissioner of police. So that also is a question to ask. The constant rotation of commissioner of police, what time does it give a police officer or a commissioner to understand the terrain and prefer a solution to the problems that we have? Because the new one would have to acclimatize, would have to get used to the environment, get to understand how the architecture works here and how security business is done around here before it begins to act. And in that time or that space, what happens? So there's a lot of things to question. So is it really the hierarchy of the police? Is there something that's been done, supposed from the police headquarters in Abuja, that we don't understand that's affecting their activities here? Or is it something that's done here that's affecting their activities here? Why do we have so much on the East-West Road and yet get so little result? Is a question that bewilders anybody. Hello, Today95.1 FM.
Hello. Good evening, my brother.
Good evening to you.
Yeah, from Elebra Demoho. I am so.
Go ahead.
Well done. You see, that kidnapping cases along my area, Emoha. I'm very, very bothered about that. We are talking about the security around River State, security around the community. The one at the highway, East West Road, is becoming so alarming. I don't know what is causing that buhaha along that. We have more than 30 checkpoints from here to Elele. I don't know what the police are doing. It's as if they have the teenage of that crime act always there. I don't know. I can't understand what is happening. May God help us. As I'm talking to you, I'm very angry. As a son of Emoha, why is that other person from other area or they are connected with some persons around here to perpetrate that evil? Oh Jesus, I'm angry. Very, very angry now as I'm talking to you. I'm very angry. It's like let heaven fall and everybody should die and let this generation end. I'm telling you, I'm very angry. Oh Jesus help us. Thank you very much.
Hello, good evening.
It is Pastor Isaiah George from Buguma and Calabala.
Go ahead.
Andrew, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes. One major question Rivers people need to ask and to get answer is from the governor is that what is the bone of contention or the brain behind OSPAC must leave Umoha? For which interest is that command protecting?
Are you saying that the movement of OSPAC is the reason why this is happening?
My brother, if OSPAC is there, I am.
What is the role of the police? It's because now the OSPAC, a constituted authority to take care of security, is the police. Now I'm coming. We'll get to the OSPAC point, but Isaiah, let me make that point so you answer the questions together. So are you then saying that the police is incompetent to handle the situation, and so you're now believing in OSPAC to do a better job?
My brother, police people have been there in Omoko when this killing was massively going on, and nothing was done until OSPAC came and recorded huge success. Are you still telling us or telling Omoko people to continue to believe in Nigeria's security presence over there? That is why those local government or those who went to seek for their presence to come and help them in their local government went and did that. And then when they came in, then you can see with the anger and with the gravity of anger that came from the governor that it is a must, and because he has the first and last command in terms of security, and that thing came to pass within just as his word came dropped on the floor, so they left that place. You can see that you can see the perpetration of insecurity now going on. Immediately the traditional ruler was kidnapped. He just close. Somebody was telling close to the police checkpoint, and then these things keep going on and on. Are you telling me that you will still be believing? Why is it that people most time, even when you tell them somebody is dying, say call God, let's pray, they will tell you that hey, my sister, this thing is not God, even those who are themselves. They will even abandon prayer and go to either juju house or naked dog, because that is their choice, and anything that can help them at that moment that is best known to them, that is what the option they go for. In a sense, so the presence of the OSPAC would have been a major boost to the fight of insecurity in that place. And you are telling for people, the same people who have been there, and then all this beheading, killing, kidnapping has been going on, and nothing was done to save the scenario, and you are still telling people to continue to put my brother. I am telling you that our security, I am telling you that there is interest that the governor to me is presenting. Maybe most of these boys that is committing this evil might be people who are loyal to his political party.
Are you saying that other political parties do not have boys who are also loyal to them that may be causing mayhem?
No, I don't say so. Other political parties.
No, you're saying if you're making that on the governor would not accommodate to use this as a platform to begin to spread. Thank you very much, Isaiah. But would not accommodate you as a platform to begin to point or use words that would malign the office of the governor, the governor's personality, or his political party. That's not what we're having. That's not the conversation on the show. You've been making your point, and we allow you made that. But the moment you begin to indirectly insinuate or begin to attack the personality or political party, then we can't allow you go further because we do not have any proof to say that any political party or anybody is responsible, or people that they use are responsible for anything. So please, such comments would not be encouraged. Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon. Lost both of those calls. All right, so we'll try to get in touch with Uchendu now to get more information from him on the situation on ground. Don't go anywhere. Our correspondent Uchendu Ejewa is with us over the phone. Uchendu, good evening. We really don't have a lot of time, so in the next few minutes, what's the situation with regards to the kidnap incident along the East-West Road, the MOR axis of the road?
We have been following up with the for now, there's no report of any release of those for now. I think police are also doing their best. Are there any reports of police officers in pursuit of these boys? I didn't hear you, Andrew.
Are there reports from the police suggesting that their men are in pursuit of these boys?
From the command, we've not get any signal. But for the division, we have been contacting with the senior police officers there. And some residents are also assisting the police in combing some of the bushes in that area. But as I speak to you, we have only seen destroyed by the kidnappers after the occupants will find an escape from their target. You know, when this incident happens, the hoodlums, after adopting 14 from the first force, 3 forces that were coming at the same time to fall into the direct, right? The other one that almost had gotten their fish got a speed break, and then all the passengers ran into the bush and escaped. From the first force, out of the 18, 14 was adopted. Then the other 4 actually escaped. So that 4 that actually let the police know what has happened. They quickly came to the
How far was the incident of the crime from the Rumoji police station? Because if you're saying that the others escaped, it means perhaps they went to report to the police station on foot. Was it very far from the police station?
Yeah, they actually went to the police station to report what happened. And you know, they have a checkpoint almost within that area. But Andrew, you will not be surprised to hear that officers, even within a post from where they are, anything can happen by these boys. So I think it didn't happen at that spot. So those who escaped managed to rush to the police station to report to them, and immediately the police take them into action.
Uchendu. All right, Uchendu, would have to let you go now. That's the much we can take from you. Thank you very much. We do not have much time at the moment. So, but we got some of the information from Uchendu there. Let's get back to our phone lines quickly. Hello to the 95.1 FM.
My brother, good evening, my brother.
Good evening to you. Your name, please, and where are you calling from?
I'm Prince calling from Abluman.
Go ahead.
Well, the truth of the matter is that somebody tried to, indult this the state governor. But well, I pity the person because he said he said whether he's a pastor or something, we don't know. But I don't want to join issue with him. Here, the truth of the matter is that as far as security in Nigeria, nothing. Let me just say there is security in Nigeria, but they have really failed Nigeria woefully. Not only for River State. River State one is even small one. They failed Nigeria woefully. You see the police? The police in that area, they know every kidnapping problem in that place. They know it. Before one boss we kidnap, because I passed through that route several times. The checkpoint is very close. Just one police is even far. So nothing will happen to even kidnap one boss. Is it something like that? Immediately just kidnap, just disappear within the twinkle of an eye. It's not possible. Police knows about I don't know. The only blame we can blame, the only person we can blame is the President of the Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari. Wike is just like a governor. Wike is just like a figurehead as a chief security from out. The person they will blame is Buhari, the President Buhari. Everybody.
Why should you blame the President?
Yeah, because he's the overall chief security. They will take order from him. Or they will call Abuja, they will call Mahmoud, or what is the name of the new IG now? Or if it is army, they will call Tuku Brata. You understand what I'm saying? So, no. You blame Buhari, you blame Buhari 100%.
President Buhari, please.
100%. I have given you the reason now.
I said President Buhari, not Buhari.
Listen.
President Buhari, I said President.
President Buhari, my brother.
Thank you.
President Buhari. So you know one thing, Governor Wike cannot just give any order. Say, go to this place. They will first of all confirm from their headquarters, Abuja. If they say no, it's no. So is there chief security? That one by constitution, that chief security is just from out. You understand? So instead of they will blame their APC who cannot rule Nigeria.
No, we don't have that. No. I said it earlier. We don't accommodate such sort of language when you begin to speak about a political party. We're talking about the lives of people and not the excesses or whatever of anybody we don't know about. We don't have those details. So please, thank you very much and do watch your language. Hello to the 95.1 FM. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
You're welcome.
My name is Mr. John. I'm calling you from Ibrita.
All right, John, you're welcome.
I think the issue of insecurity in Rivers State shouldn't be an issue that we should be comparing ourselves to the insecurity in Nigeria at large. Is it a crime in Rivers State if we live peacefully? I think it's not a crime. Now, this particular period should have been a period that we call the governor to a point that he will be charged to secure life and property left under his care. The governor should take it as point of view, even if it is the only project to do for Rivers people that they live in peace. Instead of everyday kidnapping, every moment kidnapping, I think it is very, very inappropriate. It's absolutely, no matter the amount of projects he does in Rivers State, without securing life and property, I think he has not done anything. He has not done anything. Look at Enugu State. How many times do we record these incidents of this and that? Are they not safe? Why should we continue to compare ourselves with the insecurity happening in Nigeria? We should be unique. Let him try as much as possible to comb this. Ospak here has been able to lift up to the expectation that this level of kidnapping along that East West Coast has reduced to the dearest minima. Let the governor stop it. Then where are we going to? Should we secure ourselves? While the citizens of this country, the citizens of this state keep on paying tax, you are collecting tax, and you are driving all means to collect tax from different agencies, both payable and non-payable. Those that are supposed to pay, those that are not supposed to pay. You are collecting tax, but you cannot secure them. This has gone out of hand. You should step up to this, even if it is the simple project you need to do for rivers people to secure them. You should do it and forget about other developmental program that he is thinking of doing. If nobody is living here in the state again, those schools is building, who is going to go there? The churches and all the road is constructed. Who is going to work on that road? First of all, do the necessary, secure life first, and forget about these that clap for you, Governor Wiki. You should know what this is. In fact, we are tired and this kind of insecurity problem. They should quench it for once for all.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. All right, let me quickly also tell us that a Soboina application against INEC Commissioner in charge of voter education, Festus Okoye, has been dismissed by the Governorship Election Petition Tribunal in Port Harcourt. Victor Eziama, our correspondent, reports that the application against Okoye was dismissed by the tribunal for no proof of personal service on the INEC Commissioner. The lead judge of the tribunal, Justice K.A. Ojiakore, in his ruling held that the petitioner and the lawyer to the Action Democratic Party in Rivers State, Dolapo Atani, did not prove that the said INEC official was served the notice directly to him, as he claimed. ADP had also asked the tribunal to give a mandatory order for the INEC official to appear at the tribunal to explain the press releases and statements suspending the March 9 Rivers State gubernatorial election. And that's also another issue that is currently on ground. Hello to the 95.1 FM.
Hello, Canada.
This is Andrew. Good evening.
Oh, Andrew, sorry. Good evening.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Sorry, I want to shift. I don't know the governor. Don't know him for one. For anybody to come on air and begin to blame any state governor for insecurity, the most preposterous in anybody can. Like the caller before the last day, who controls the army? Who controls the police? And the governor also using a duty not to talk of his state and what is it called? Commissioner of Police. We saw what happened during the election when even the GO of Bodicam was not taking order from the governor. So how will somebody come and blame governor and say the project is doing, road is constructing, and should tackle security once and for all? How will he tackle security when he does not control any of the security paraphernalia? Even common security and civil defense, it's not under the control of the governor. The former governor of Para State was crying, and he's sitting from the same party that is at the center. Bandits are taking over Zamfara State. Is it the governor that should go and do that? So for anybody to come and begin to lampoon the government, if you want to play politics, it's...
Hello.
Yes, I'm hearing.
Go ahead.
I don't like it, And thank you, I thank you for the way you handled Isaiah. Isaiah comes to the air and claims to be a pastor, and is painting us black that are the people that are called to preach this gospel. He should not come to the radio and begin to, dish out fallacies and lies and falsehoods. It's not right. I was even thinking you would have said
you would allow us handle Isaiah. It wouldn't be in your position to begin to look at what he said. If he says something out of line, it's our job to address him on that one. Thank you very much for your contribution, though.
God bless you.
All right, the lines are still very open. We'd like to know what your thoughts are before we wrap things up in the next few minutes. Hello. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Andrew.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you. My name is Engineer Yoko calling from Port Harcourt.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask a technical question. Based on what you told us that they changed the Commissioner of Police in Rivers State, I hope that is true.
Yeah, true.
Okay, now I want to ask, when the decision to change the Commissioner of Police Rivers State was it taken in Rivers State or in Abuja? Was the governor of Rivers State informed? Was he consulted to choose who to come and become the Commissioner of Rivers State, to whom all the police apparatus in Rivers State will report to? Was he consulted? He didn't know who was coming. Why is he called the chief security officer of Rivers State? All the arms of security, apart from the military, report to the commissioner of police of the state. And yet, when a decision like that will be taken, the governor will not be consulted, he will not be aware. Before you know, somebody has imposed threat to him. And then people come on air. Oh, he's the chief security. He should resign. He has not provided security. In fact, why is he there? It's the party people. It's very wrong. So that is my own point. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
You're welcome. Your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Chris Opris. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, based on what we are discussing, you know, at times we're blaming Governor Wike in everything that happened in Rivers State about security. See, Governor Wike is not the security of Federal Republic of Nigeria. He don't even have access. You know what happened last time between him and the former staff officer, Akin Fakorede? He doesn't take order from him. Akin Fakorede don't even listen to Governor Wike.
Well, we can't confirm that. You don't know that. So
I am telling you what I know. You don't know my own.
no, you don't know. So this is not a platform for you to begin to spread what is not confirmed. Okay, if you tell me that the governor is not in charge of the security architecture, I wouldn't argue with you because that is what is on the constitution. But if you say that he doesn't listen because they have a fracas, that I would not agree. They have time that it was ever said on Today FM or any program that the Akin Fakorede doesn't listen or the governor doesn't listen to him or he doesn't listen to the governor. Please.
For everything that is happening, nobody should let them focus it on federal government. They are the one that control security. Governor Wike has did what he's supposed to do. Last time, he provided a tank to the other people. So what are they using it to? Let them use it and combat crime. Do you want Governor Wike to start carrying gun, enter road, start looking for kidnappers? Today they have hijacked how many cops? Where are our security men? In Elele Road, do you know how many? More than from one pole. So how can they do that kind of kidnapping on that road? There is something that our security personnel are not telling us. Something is going on. We need to speak up. Allow us to speak up, I beg, so that crime will stop. If we are telling them, it will continue until one day they will start carrying me and you.
All right.
Please.
Thank you very much. That's the much we can accommodate on the show at the moment. That's how we end up with that call from Chris. But don't forget that the platform has been a production of our news department. It was put together by Emmanuel Okoro. At the same time tomorrow, we'll do it again. Until then, have a lovely evening. Stay out of trouble. And don't forget that at 7, we're going to have the sports crew in the studio. We'll be transmitting the match between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and Bafana of South Africa live. Yeah, the ongoing AFCON in Egypt. And it's going to be an interesting conversation. You wouldn't want to miss that. My name remains Ifeemi Andrew. Bye-bye for now and enjoy your evening.
Are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
I'm T. Angel calling from Imo State. My name is White calling from Bayelsa.
Hello, yes, this is Udwa calling from Akwa Ibom.
My name is John calling from Bayelsa.
Yamaka calling from Abia.
This is Toya calling from Bayelsa. I'm Divine calling from Port Harcourt.
With over 8 million listeners glued to this dial, why not take advantage
Showcase your product
and services to the world with rates that wouldn't break your back?
Visit us at number 1 Today FM Drive off East West Road, Rumekini, Port Harcourt, or our city office, 21 Orobon Crescent, GRA Phase 2, Port Harcourt.
Give us a call today on
0803 35 57 986 or 0810 128 2937.
We are your number 1 talk radio station, Today 95.1 FM. voice of the people.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Every day, every hour. When the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Good evening and welcome to today's edition of Bits and Pieces on your premium talk on News Radio, Today 95.1 FM. I am Ifeemi Andrew. We bring you a report from Imo State, which says 2 siblings have been arrested for allegedly kidnapping their 88-year-old father, Chinaza Nwogu and Emeka Ejike, alongside their accomplice Emmanuel Sunday, are said to be cooling off in police net for committing the crime. Upon arrest, it was discovered that one of the suspects, Emmanuel Sunday, who is said to be Chinaza's boyfriend, reportedly planned to use his share from the ransom that would be paid for the abduction of his would-be father-in-law to pay for Chinaza's bride price. A report by the police also revealed how 2 siblings teamed up with the would-be in-law to abduct their 88-year-old father. Following their arrest, the police discovered that the suspects specialized in kidnapping people for ransom in Imbise and its environs. And in Osun State, a member of the National Youth Service Corps scheme serving is said to have died after she reportedly washed her hair with an insecticide known as Sniper to eliminate lice. Reports said the incident followed after deceased, who is an orphan, discovered lice in her hair while preparing a new hairdo in preparation for her birthday on 18th of this month. Ayomi Kun Ademorayo reportedly applied the insecticide to her hair and became unconscious a few minutes later. She was rushed to a nearby hospital by her friends, where she was confirmed dead on arrival. And in Kwara State, a magistrate's court in Ilori is reported to have ordered a fashion designer to be given 12 strokes of the cane for stealing 16 used female underwear. Dauda Aziz was ordered to be flogged after he pleaded guilty to a count charge of theft.
has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Hey! Oh yeah, Oga Madam.
Your radio.
Time now reach for waiting they happen on top today 95.1 FM. What God has joined together, let no finger put us on now. Oh yeah,
Oga Madam.
everybody join Pastor Talking Drum. The Lord of the mic. Make we thank Baba God together. On top, testimony time for your Bonga Radio today, 95.1 FM.
And now, top 3 songs
All right, so good evening. It's this evening time. Don't reach where you don't care about this. Done. Put on top today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Like I tell you, say you never see, no me say no that happen. Say you never hear, no also me say no that happen. Now, Baba God, now in they keep all of us quickly and wirely. This level of the lips so is short well, even short. Pass short in the cadets. Now sure bank out appointment where every man and every woman they go keep. Nobody's being torn. Nobody's being time. And you know if you jump and pass sin, I mean the cost of the debt. Jesus Christ name be the only cure. Make you carry your life. Make you give Baba God there because any life with outside Christ, a day full of crisis. I still remember humble self as a one of today, 95.1 FM. Pastor talking drum, the Lord of the mic. Dibaye, I am better than the studio. I'm not there alone. I did with my baby and I'm gonna make sure to salute, give country people quickly and wirely.
Joe,
baby,
Jay,
country people.
What's up? Lay down, calm down. We have came is that we have came. My name na Fonny Udeme, Afonso Symphona Bongere, Teti Mark Panoko na Fiawo, Obango, Utom, Sai, this swagger baby, sit on there. Because what Dixon sings about comes out. What Biko, Musutum Bansa. Oh, Jess.
I say you don't come yo. Nigerian na my country, yo ba yasana my state, yo. This na reality, everything happen for my yasa. 1999, yo, I swear I don't go forget them. When them.
All right, but this one, rumors shooting. Hey, if we not talk about this one, which one we want to talk about because it happened near our radio station here inside the room. We'll see, bam, they say at least 2 people have allegedly been shot to death. Been shot to death by security personnel around the room. Say no biakpa, local government area of Rivers State. That is state of Rivers. This one is state of dead body. Okay, they say trouble started at as some youth from Mbolo community arrived at a mortuary. People were supposed to cry. They can't arrive mortuary at Rumosi to carry the corpse of one of their kinsmen, Ali Rechi Nwoko, who was killed last year during a protest at Mpolu Aziz of the East-West Road over the bad state of the road. If you remember well, that time where they talk to the key person, people will go to protest. And our correspondent, Gada, say the sporadic shooting. Sporadic shooting. That is the way they pronounce that. That is the way the gun is sounded. Sporadic.
That means plenty
you understand that? Sporadic shooting. Say it continued though at the popular T Junction inside Roma Hollow community by men of suspected to be security operatives, leaving everyone to scamper for safety.
Wait, only the right time.
Yes, scamper.
This person will write this news. Nana Curtis. I could write scamper for you.
Scamper for safety.
If I wait for safety,
that's a enter Kampala for safety. When you wear scam and you come be a pampas, you now scamper for safety.
Jeez.
So youth leader inside the community now come put mouth. But one of the things when I get as problem for this news, they say now, he say men suspected to be security operatives.
Yes.
Then they suspect security operatives.
Then they suspect them now. See, you know why? It depends on the dressing.
Okay.
The dress code.
So they say that suspected security operatives. Okay, Mbamoko still carry body join. CSO Mpolo. So meanwhile, the civil society organization in River State say they don't condemn the action of River State security operatives in the fracas we break out at the burial of Ale Rechi Nwoko, who was killed last year in the community. The secretary contact said the way River State Police Command handle, they give approval for the burial, then the consti come there and say wondered why men of SARS allegedly acted the way they did. And contact say this one is no good at all. So in also they accuse the security operatives say why they go come there constantly kill people. Okay, apart from that, we can't get the last one will be River State Police. In the meantime, the River State Police Command said don't dismiss report of killing of some persons by police personnel at a barrier of one alley in Woku. They said no be them now you kill anybody. Said they no kill anybody inside the Obiakwa community or inside Obiakwa local government from Olu community. So the spokesperson of the command Nando Monaco who spoke to our correspondent talk say the barrier went successfully with the help of security operatives who then deploy inside the area. Say the deputy superintendent of the police said although there was little misunderstanding between the police and some people who he described as infiltrators. Yes. Say who were there to cause trouble. So they can't calm down the whole thing and the barrier. Everything go back to normalcy according to them. So but now this whole thing kind of wonder me say SAS said they don't kill anybody. News said they kill security operatives. Suspected security operatives. Then this other community chief, CSO secretary, say men of SAS acted wrongly. Now, who they tell us the truth or who they lie? How you see this matter for this evening? But before you go put mouth on top of the matter, just very simple English class. Now we want enter today. Very simple English class. You go translate. You know they had, it don't had. You know they had, it don't had. Na adage. Ona arawaho, ya arawaho. You know they had, it don't had. So you translate it to correct English before you put math inside this matter. Today, one of people will go school, people will go Maharajum, university, and otherwise. You know they had, it don't had. You go translate them, then you put math on top of this shootout of yesterday. Suspected men, security operatives, men of SAS, police command said they don't kill anybody. How you see this matter? 081700000951 or 0810951091. Make I repeat them again so that you forget them correctly. 081700000951 or 0810951091. But you go translate first. You know they had, it don't had. You know they had, it don't had. Before I go come up from studio today, I go also tell you one of the traces how you go take know whether poverty they your side or you know they. All right, hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening. Well, member, welcome. Yeah, guys, you won't come out. How are you there, sis?
Well, no, I'm not going to pick my call. I'm going to pick my call.
I will not go pick. We not even see anybody number here. So nobody like say we know say na you the call or no be you. Sorry.
Well, I understand.
Well, welcome to the own. You go to school at all?
Yes.
Mbamoko hear you now. You know they had, they don't had.
The time we go to the notice that one. Now, elementary I go home. My home.
Waiting.
Look outside.
Go talk with you. Go again.
What there?
Honey. You see when they tell you something, say make you know they waste your strength. Lift me. Why can't you do something that?
Is it elementary? Even come on the E with the bag elementary.
Because it be
lamentation. That you go. Oh God. I am about that here. You put back for the matter. We don't say you know go.
But if I talk about I will give me charge card.
I feel give you such a pass to charge card self. Talk and first. If you know whether you go get it.
No, barely pass to charge card.
Charge card no dey. I no go talk.
But leave am now.
You see, you see this Mbolu something will happen. Like that will not like what happened for Rumors.
Okay, you see for Rumors when they can't carry the cops.
Yes, and they drive they go Abonima.
Okay.
And they drive they go Abonima. So for go slow and not go slow, they will not move. So the boys again when they do, the boys again but the people carry keke, we are black and black. Then they knife, when they harass people who do for shop. So we are not really fast people from come out, begin shoot. So now they are waiting drop one person instanta. But not everybody will follow for that convoy and I can't do that. Maybe people where they Like what I see now, they tell you, I don't know what about people who carry motor to come. Those who they
separate, then they their own. They do the normal carrying of cups, Abi.
Their own.
Okay.
Yeah, they people run one way. This keke can carry run one way. Me, I saw people. So when they not to shoot, the boys then carry knife. You know, they hold them. Then too fast now, so we're going to shoot. From there to them find their way. So now I'm not going to know what will happen again. So for them to go back the ground to go shoot gun, I know they are. You know good. Sometimes when this thing happen, make money, money. Making they try to talk through, because if they stand public, I think they should in their children. When they don't come on air, sometimes they say no the security personnel, they know the men. All these things now if they follow spoil this country. You know, if something will happen, then caution them. Give them that next time something will happen.
Okay.
Don't lost. Then from there we move ahead. But tomorrow, next time the thing will still occur. And when it happens, this man will still come on air. They tell us say it's not his man. Who will go so for uniform when they shoot these woodlocks? Or any other riot? You know good. Then if that thing happen, that means our Nigeria police they don't fed up.
Okay.
Because for them, for another people to wear police uniform, come where they tell the police. That means where the police people do.
Okay.
So, that is God do. Now we're not trying to do that.
All right. But thank you. You don't talk your own. All right. Okay. Moko enter the next caller. All right. 0817-0000-951 or 0810-9510-951. Those ones are the phone lines where if you take use reach to put your mouth on top of the matter. If you also be eyewitness, maybe you see what thing happened that yesterday. If it also tell us like this person, don't tell us your own. Hello. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Seso.
Your name is waiting.
Seso.
Yes, sir.
Welcome. Welcome.
So then I greet you.
I greet you too.
Yes. You say you know hard, but you don't hard, Abi.
Jay.
No, not you know hard, but you don't. You know hard. You don't hard.
You know hard. You don't hard.
Say the issue, not the issue is supposed to bring problem. But the issue don't bring problem. Now,
that means now the deeper version of the patient English. Now you don't.
No, I will hear you continue.
Okay. You know, this Nigerian police today, they know they talk through. Right away from our head, he reach this state, Kwano. And so it will happen if they say no be them. But if our Nigerian police, they walk where how they supposed to walk, people just carry gun, come shoot for the public place like that for afternoon. So if police say no be their own people, what do they do now? Why they don't find out the people who kill those people? Why they don't arrest the people? So what thing they do about the killing now? Because they say no be their own people. So what thing their investigation, whether they will know say if the people will come kill people for the ground. So reaching there now, okay, if the boys they carry knife, where they go they attack people for
shops,
burial or for road, for shop, that one don't pass. Now reaching the house, now waiting there, they go shoot for the house. Now then give approval to make them bury the boy. So if they bury the boy, now waiting there, they go shoot for the house when they don't approve the burial. So,
okay.
No professor, not living in this thing where they do so. Me, I condemn, I know good.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Sensei. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, something.
Yeah, Moskile, my brother.
Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, the pimple on our face.
You will don't boss missing, see the copy pimple.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, what can you do about one of today?
They go fit translate these things. So.
No, in this man.
You say now which answers?
You know if you know what you want to translate.
You go fit, or more leave them.
Say now which one now? Let me know.
Okay, you know they hard, they don't hard.
For English version.
I think you say make you know if you think.
You know, say,
you don't go out.
This one, no, I'm with you. This one we talk now, pidgin English.
Okay. Put down. Tell us. Give us the English.
You know the heart, you don't hurt. You know the heart, you don't hurt. That is English, you know. The other one, no be pidgin. You know the heart, you don't hurt. Because you know the heart, you don't hurt.
We never do. Mekao.
Who do this man this thing?
Let me no for police I'm not an eyewitness. Let me take about. But it not be hard. It don't hard. Thank you very much. Let me take about.
Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Welcome.
Yes. So,
come on from your radio. We hear ourselves. We're not supposed to hear ourselves. Come on from your radio.
You know the hard. You don't hard.
For English.
For English, I feel say what is not difficult is difficult.
Chinekele.
Yes.
You don't get them. In short,
okay.
now you translate them.
No problem. We don't hear you.
You don't hear me?
We don't hear you.
You're correct.
Okay.
We will call result for the end.
Yes.
All right.
You know this is what you talk about. That time when we say you go reach, we had the pace result like this. Now
yes.
Big F like
I
this.
tell you, capital later.
Welcome.
All right.
You know what put back for the matter?
You know they hard, you don't hard.
You don't have them.
You don't have them, now you make your own cook.
Okay, hello, good evening.
Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you now?
We did fine now.
I bet when I tell something, maybe change your name or something was clear, man. Because something don't kill people. Something don't kill people for follow.
Okay, you don't want to make anything kill people?
Make something not they kill people away.
Okay.
That's something not change your name.
No problem. We'll call her later.
Yes.
But what's your name and where they call us from?
My name is Good Man.
Good man.
Yes, sir.
Well, give us your good contribution. You sabi, you go fit translate this thing?
Not be hard. You don't hard. It's not hard for it to be hard.
Oh, wonderful.
This man couscous.
It's not hard for it to be hard.
Yes.
To be hard, yes. That means the situation where you think say, you know, if it cause anything, before you know, something big don't happen. Just as it happened for Polo and Rumosi.
Yeah, they wake on hard now.
Okay.
Hey, my guy, wake up.
How far now?
I didn't follow.
Just as it happened for Rumosi.
How about it?
Oh, God. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. Good news.
You need to talk this thing safe. You know they
hello?
have
I will tell you the answer. I know you don't know.
I know now.
I know you don't.
If
you
I
want
tell them
to
now,
learn.
you go confuse.
I know is a very very lucrative pigeon. Hello. Hello. Okay, 08170000951. Moko just go this small market. We'll come back. We'll continue from where we stop and make you not go anywhere. See there.
Breaking news. NBA Forex and Capital Investment Limited, your #1 Forex institute in Nigeria, launches a new office at Waterlines, Port Harcourt. All residents of GRA, Waterlines, D-Line, Stadium Road, and Old GRA, you now have the opportunity to enroll and invest with NBA Forex and Capital Investment Limited at #159 Aba Road, Waterlines Junction, Port Harcourt, River State. And remember, the old office still remains at GU Ake Road, adjacent to Unity Filling Station, Elioso, Port Harcourt. Or you can also call 0808-595-3225, 0816-295-3970, or 0705-461-3070. Or you can send an email to info@mbaforex.org. NBA Forex and Capital Investment Limited, your journey to financial freedom.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
madam.
Everybody, join Pastor Talking Drum. The Lord of the mic. Make we thank Baba God together. On top, testimony time for your Bonga Radio today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Every Sunday morning, 6 to 8 a.m. On top, testimony time. Testimony time, overcomers time.
You have shown me so much mercy. Countryman
countrywoman, you don't hear say with only taking money 3,000 naira. 3,000 naira. Your faith comes sit down with Pastor Talking Drum every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays to talk about your handwork. And but if you did radio, make a call this number 080-3466-3771. Make a call again in case your hand in the summer. 080-3466-3771. Hallelujah. Cause it on with the Pastor Talking Drum. We'll talk about your handwork. On top today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Show me your handwork here. Plenty things. Hey,
Fine lady. Nobody will no fit to make a move.
Hey, oh yeah, Oga Madam. Time now reach for waiting the happen on top today 95.1 FM. What God has joined together, let no finger put us on now.
Sai, dawo. Eyele kammi. Ura uma. Awari, hirioko. Akauke nang. Where you go? Abe. Do. A diversion. Make we enter Today FM 95.1. And now waiting they happen. Now they happen for Parakad. Cause no year.
All right, so we don't come back from that small market. Okay, Moku, enter side phone line. Moku to take your calls. 0817-00000951 and 0810-951-0951. Hello, good evening.
After Talking Drum.
Hey, you, honorable. Honorable.
Now, teacher Uku, I'm not the honorable.
But you don't carry that lift.
Honorable teacher Uku na.
If you put that like that. But teacher Uku.
Teacher Anta.
One baby, how are you?
Are they fine, no?
Teacher Anta.
I beg the simple interpretation to that your thing. What do you call them? You know they hard. You don't hard.
What will they hear you now?
A simple problem has become complex. That's just the interpretation. The English interpretation to that your pidgin.
Yeah.
Simple problem has become complex. I will explain it to you in detail. When you are done with your show, if you continue to explain it now, it will be difficult.
Okay, after the show, now you go come explain them.
It is safe to continue that thing will be difficult.
Public don't know what in the simple problem has become complex. No, I will take you to school someday when we meet in Port Harcourt. I beg, make I reverse back to that football issue. That's a problem issue. We look at the cause of all these problems, beginning with even the Rivers man, the man with them buried.
That's the death of Ale Rechiwoko.
Andele, thank you. Now, just simple problem of this water and road and
crisis.